Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are with PrimeTime 33, headlined by Styles versus Carter. A bit of a change to the original matchup of Styles versus Jimmy Slick, but we've still got a title fight on this card, and it's bound to be a banger in the light heavyweight division. Joining me in the comms booth tonight is Ginger. It's me and Ginge. It's going to be a fun one. Ginger.
Hello.
Hello is all we have to say on this aspect.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
we got some killers on the card here tonight. I can't wait to see some really good, hopefully stoppages. I'm gonna see some knockouts, maybe some subs.
Yeah,
well,
I'm
excited.
I'm excited as well. We've got the co-main of Josh Ray versus Cryptic Optic. That's going to be a fight. Josh Ray and Optics both making a name for themselves. You got Yeeticus versus Webcam. Webcam's a hectic fighter with lovely footwork. Yeeticus is the grappler. It's your classic mix-up. Dover kickboxing, Swish Bitty, grappler. Again, another striker versus. You've got Storm, Purple Urkel, brilliant fighter there. Motown Finest, who recently actually joined the KM lot, so I'm expecting good things from him. Chasing Man is also on here, a fan favourite, you got to admit. We talk about fan favourites, so we've also got Dale Dent and Ginger. And to start us off with, we've got Rasputin.
Yeah, we got some killers on this card, as I said before. You know, we got a new addition to TMF, Wolf. I only noticed him a few weeks ago. I thought he showed some great potential, so we decided to pick him up and add him to the roster.
With that being said, let's get into the fight, shall we? We're in the lightweight division. Rara, I'll imagine, may go for a Poirier pick. Jumbo's been hovering over him consistently. Wolf has been picking over on the Gaethje pick, so I'm expecting good things to see here.
Yeah, when I play Wolf, he normally went just Tony Ferguson here, so I want to see how he adapts to the style of a Gaethje pick.
Well,
hopefully he gets the leg kicks in, takes advantage of just what Gaethje is all round, because he's got the hand power, he's got head kicks, leg kicks, you know, and maybe we can see the first ever Rolling Thunder KO.
Rolling Thunder KO, that would be a good idea to see. That being said, though, Gaethje and Ferguson aren't very similar.
Two world-class level strikers here, and the expectation is we're going to get
similar picks here. We got Gaethje in the blue corner, Rara in the red. Rara already shooting for a takedown. Interesting. Wolf, a leg kick fired off there. Wolf putting on this pressure already, playing Gaethje how you want to be seen. Digs that body, but Rara sits up top with a hook.
Yeah, he's mixing it all up.
He needs to. Rara's probably going to look for some leg kicks, but, you know, will sure respond with some checks, some leg kicks of his own, because we all know that Gaethje has got them really powerful leg kicks, and he just needs to stay in the pocket. He can't really let a Poirier get the best of him. He can't let the permanent head damage go down. He just has to play it smart and play it technical.
Yeah, Rara needs to probably calm it down a bit, just stay a bit more cautious, not throw wild shots. Lovely footwork there, dodging out a big shot, digs down to leg again. It's probably what you want to be doing with Gaethje, especially as Poirier, maybe mixing up the lovely defend on the takedown. A good way of setting up a takedown is coming in with a jab and then going for a single leg. It makes your opponent switch stances and normally wins it. With how Wolf is also throwing, you can probably look for a pullback and get a lovely counter with Poirier's power.
Yeah. That
that's a lovely takedown, making lovely levels after getting pressured on the feet by the Gaethje. The sprawl transition now, in 2 minutes what we left on the clock, and lovely denial there. Low stam, goes for the giddy, and he does get it. He's tracking nicely, and 120 ping does make tracking a slight bit difficult, but not too much. Rara's actually staying fairly on it. Even if you don't get this, you normally end up in the top mount, and that tracking's doing well, but it does look like he's going about to escape, and he pulls it. It's not a giddy apology, it's an anaconda.
It's an anaconda. Get it right, dog. You're supposed to be the grappler here. You're supposed to be the grappler. Oh, but he still might get it.
Yeah, it's looking really tight, and he just narrowly avoids it. That's exactly what Rara wanted there. That, you know for a fact that he may be able to get that, and that is exactly what you want as Rara.
Rara is always saying that Wolf isn't experienced on the ground as him, so if I were him, I would just take it right back down, maybe go for, obviously, the sub-defense.
Double elbows, get the takedowns. You could go for a sprawl attempt here now. Poirier's very well versed on the ground. He has about a 92 sub offense. Gaethje, as we know, can get subbed easily if you look at the Khabib, but that's Khabib for you.
Dustin gets top 2, but we don't talk about that. I want to see Wolf go for a little bit more body work. You know, oh, that was a nice takedown there by Rara. Side control's a dangerous position to be able to play here.
Again, every time this has happened so far, he's gone to sprawl. Maybe look to pre-deny that transition, because it does seem the case. Sprawl's one of the strongest positions as a non-dominant on bottom. Lovely elbows there. Pulls back, nearly gets pulled back there. Rara having some really difficulty planting on his kicks to do it. Doubles up on the uppercuts, narrowly avoids getting finished there.
That could have been it if I was just a little bit earlier. That would have been it. Pretty dominant run there by Rara. I have to give that to him. 9-10 to 10-9 to Rara, in my opinion. Going for the second round here. Both men show respect. Touch of glove. Rara going right back to the leg kicks. Gonna get the head damage and oh, nice takedown defense there by Wolf. Trying to get the body damage done, but could have cost him there.
Wolf is definitely putting his pressure. Lovely. He's done a consistently nice job at moving out of the way. The issue is his counters aren't landing, and he's going heavily for the takedown. He can set them up better. Gets dug to the body there. Lovely lead hook and putting on his pressure again.
We're already seeing an early stamina difference here in the. Oh, and that was a good takedown defense there, but we're already seeing the stamina difference because of the amount of takedowns Rara's going for. So he needs to chill on them a little bit, stop being so reliant on them, set up a few combos, go back to the legs. He's doing an excellent job doing the leg kicks here. See another one right there. I don't like seeing the camp, you know, his legs being absolutely broken, but you know it's really is a skill to.
Yeah, he's digging that leg kick and he's doing nicely. We didn't see the stats of round one, I'm not sure, so we're not really sure who did it. Lovely denial there. Does get the half guard, goes to the back sitting and then goes for another one. You could easily go for an arm triangle here, and he does go for it. Lovely job. Similar in stand. The tracking, as we saw, was decent. If we even get this over to the third stage, you end up in a pretty decent position. The tracking staying fairly close, although blue does seem to be going up just a bit quicker. Rara having some good job there. Goes into the full guard stage now. If he gets over to the side control, that's a massive advantage in the favour of Poirier, and he does do so. Does look like Blue's going to escape, but Rara still in a lot more dominant position. Tightens it up quite nicely and narrowly avoids getting the finish. Goes for the half guard, tempts to Kimura, and we're now back into side control. The sprawl finally denied.
No, Wolf needs to stop going for the, oh no, the triangle armbar. This could be it.
This is Rara's entire thing. He's just looking for these subs, and it's a very good call. He's not having much success on the feet, but he's doing massive success on the grappling department. Although Gaethje is having a bit of difficulty tracking with getting caught, so far Rara has been the one playing the catch-up game.
Yeah, well, you know, there is some things that lacking in sub-defense, but, you know, I was having some pretty good tracking here, but Gaethje, it seems that around the later half in the sub, he's starting to get more comfortable in the sub and get more comfortable in his defense.
I agree. For Rara, the subs there.
Yeah,
like, it's evident it's there. It's just the issue of he's not choosing the right runs. He's not doing, like, there's a couple which are really powerful. Full guard, a full guard armbar is so powerful. A ghillie from sprawl is also really powerful. Those type of shots, and a Kimura is also really good. If you look for the other ones, they're kind of sketchy. Like a half guard arm triangle is doable, but at a push.
But the thing is, with the guillotine in the sprawl position, you can't do that with Dustin unless the reversal from the get up.
No, you can. If you hold down the left trigger and the LB button, you can make the anaconda into a ghillie. It's actually one of the more.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, it's one of the major things. I never go for an anaconda, I always go for a ghillie. I like it better just because even if you fail it, you normally end up in the top mount position, so you can just have a bit of ground and pound fun on that. Dark's the head kick. If he countered that, I'd probably look for a knockdown. Probably would have easily scored the round of that time around. Goes to the full guard and goes straight for the get up. Lovely job getting up on the feet from a single takedown. Digs that body, gets the stun, gets him.
I was just about to say, that was lovely by Rara.
That was clean as all hell. Goes for the takedown though. Probably should have looked to go for the ghillie. Wolf is putting on his pressure. Rara needs a finish, and so far he's showcased that he can do that. And whiffs that body kick and another body kick down.
Well, you know, Wolf's being very careless with his stamina management. That stuff we'll work on. But it is just a case of watch your stamina. You know what? He's wasting stamina, and he's still being even with Rara, so that's really just a follow-up for Rara. And he's going to go for Scroll again. This is dangerous because he could go for that.
Gets the night though.
He has a necktie, doesn't he?
And he gets it. That was interesting. I don't know what this is. This may be an anaconda again. I'm not particularly sure. But with that being said, yeah, I was going to say the position does look to be it. The Stam again. He probably wants to ditch on this, just work something else. But I'm not particularly sure what Rara can do here. It seems more like a time waster. He does ditch it. Gets another denial. That's a really that's really careless. Goes for a Peruvian or Japanese next time. I'm not particularly sure which one. The tracking's again. We've seen Rara go again. He stayed pretty good on the tracking, and this is another lot of tracking. Oh, he may actually have this now. That's getting tight, and he's doing a good job. Will Rara get this?
That was really good tracking.
That was fantastic job by Rara there. There is nothing else you can say.
I have to give both. His stand-up's amazing, but he's definitely lacking the ground game. He's lacking stamina management. He was just going for get-ups, but barely any stamina, and it really did cost him there in that loss. But again, another great fight. I know Rara's a little bit not confident in himself, but that'll definitely boost their confidence, and all we need to do is go back in the lab and that stuff.
And he's so good at weaving a web that gets you lost in it that he made him pay for it tonight and got the submission victory.
Now, let's see who we have next on the card here. That was another amazing fight. Good show opener once again from here, boys of Primetime and competitors of Primetime. I'm going to put the link to the Discord in the chat, just in case anyone hears.
Lovely job by Rara. Just he found out what he needed to do early on, and he did it, and it was a fantastic job reading it constantly and just making the right calls. That being said, though, I believe we go on to the next fight. I could be wrong here, but hopefully they're all set up and ready. We're never particularly sure in a live event, but that's just the way it goes.
Mr. Humble Dink versus Two Soul Rap. I got someone with Two Soul. Obviously, Humble Dink's on the PSI, but I know he's a killer on there. They have 20 every season, I think. He might have been top 100 a few times.
Well, Humble's made a couple of commentating debuts, done a fantastic job either way, and now we come in to look to fight within PT, and it's always great to see commentators who haven't fought previously come over and start fighting.
Or sometimes it's vice versa, where fighters become commentators. But anything can happen here in Primetime MMA. And honestly, I'm going with Humble Dink, but I know Two Soul has some really nice head movement and can definitely bring it to you on the ground. So let's hear this one pans out.
Indeed, here we head over onto the fight card. Both of them are already lobbied up. We're just waiting for them to get ready.
We're going for Poirier and McGregor pick. Poirier McGregor number 265.
In the featherweight division, though, Poirier is an odd choice. I would have to admit. Like he's
I would go Aldo. I
would mirror a Conor in this weight.
I would go. Obviously, I'm just biased. I'm an Aldo man, but you know what you want to see from who went for the was Humble Dink going for the McGregor, or was it the Two Soul? Let's see now. It was Humble Dink going for McGregor, so we want to see a little bit of pressure from Humble, but we don't want to see him take it to the ground. We want to see Two Soul do that. But we want to see great pressure here from Humble Dink, and I'm pretty sure he can get it done in one. Or not, very nice body kick to push McGregor back. Taking to the legs, that's what we're seeing a lot. That's what we've seen in the last fight with Poirier, and he came out victorious. So let's see if that can be replicated here. Two Soul seems to be going for a lot of the pushback kicks. Yeah, there's another one, but you need to be careful with them. If he walks in there inside leg, going to miss. Oh, that was a nice spinning heel kick there from McGregor, and I want to see him put on the pressure now, as we are seeing it right now. 1-2. maybe Two Souls needs to take this down. Another pushback kick. I would maybe relax on them a little bit. You don't want to get too predictable with them. Oh, that was a nice punch. Well, that would have been a good head kick if the straight landed, but you land some, you miss some.
Lovely overhand there. That wobbles Gumbel. Another overhand there. 3 minutes left on the clock, and it's just putting the pressure. T-Sol is definitely in the winning position right now. McGregor is putting on this pressure. Especially is an odd choice, as I would say. Lovely pullback on the head kick, putting on this pressure again. Overhand fires back in retaliation. Just T-Sol is coming out here and looking to kill.
Two Soul needed to do there. He needed to, when he missed that head kick, go straight for the body, because we all know the kryptonite to McGregor's stamina. Once he's out of stamina, it's bit. You just have to not be careless. And another pushback kick. He really needs to relax on them, or he will pay. But another one. What I want to see Campbell do here, I just want to see him walk into the inside leg. Needs to watch his legs for health as well.
Yeah, indeed. It's just a lovely job here. McGregor's putting on his pressure, but again, T-Sol has done a fantastic job countering another wild head kick there. Poirier's got some weird head kicks. Actually, I find the low-level head kicks are sometimes better because they look like body kicks and they come up top over the top. It's really kind of strange. Ducks into the uppercut as he goes for a takedown, and this pressure is now getting put on again.
Not at the risk of being an outside striker, if you're caught with that hook into the uppercut. That could be game, and we've seen it right there that he was on the ropes for a second.
Yeah, again, we saw T-Sol have a very good start to the round. He clipped him twice, got 2 knockdowns very early, back to back early on. Humble has now come back, kept himself calm and looked for those shots when he shot a takedown and countered, and it was a lovely job. With that being said, though, another clean takedown shot here, 20 seconds left on the clock, so it's nothing major. Does fake a bunch, kind of interesting with the current system. Gets a lovely deny there, reading fantastically. Does try to go for a get up. And now we just ended the round. Lovely job by both opponents. I would definitely give that to T-Sol, Ginger, but I'm not sure what you would call.
Well, I would still give that to Two Soul. He pulled it back. Humble didn't pull it back, and then the round got his head damage down. It's really, I would say now, if he plays his cards right, it is Humble's fight, but the first round has to go to Two Soul for them. It's that 2 stun and a knockdown. It has to be. Seeing Two Soul go for the head movement a lot, that maybe isn't a good idea because of that. Well, not of that, because he avoided himself, but when you sway, you might get connected with another shot. That was a lovely knockdown there by Humble, I think, as well. But you can't be careful of the head movement because he just swayed right into a spinning heel kick.
This pressure here by McGregor was definitely stuffing him. Lovely job on the reversal, taking it down. And it gets a deny from the side control. There we are. Lovely deny there. Does get another deny. Humble is he's very good on doing it. Does fake that, but gets denied. This is an interesting back and forth fight here.
There we go.
There we are. Finally someone got here. It does end up like a chess match sometimes. It goes to like one shot. Does get the back take. Lovely job there by Humble, and gets back onto the feet. He clearly wants to strike. Taunting a slight bit. Always nice to see when you're McGregor. Overhand gets fired off. Does fake it, and another. Wow. That was a beautiful takedown, moving the head and then shooting back down onto the ground.
We're seeing a nice full guard here from Humble, I think, and a lovely get up there.
It does seem to be a bit stagnant, you've got to admit. Humble is neutralising the ground game very well. T-Sol's been able to land the takedowns but do nothing with them. And then when on the feet, it's very much a case of Two Souls doing some lovely head movement, McGregor not being able to hit him. Both of them are very much being unorthodox and unsteady on their feet, and it's just working lovely. It's a deny there. Low stand by. T-Sol probably digs to the body there. Does get the head stun though. Pulls back on the uppercut, goes up and...
My nerve wrecked. I can't. Oh my god!
What? And he just stands there and lets him recover. That was
my head hurts. My head hurts from this.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but both of them are just trying to kill one another, evidently.
we're seeing this backside though. That's a dangerous position. Maybe not. Excuse me. Maybe not so much for ground and pound, but it is quite dangerous for stuff like back mount and back sitting. Two of the most powerful places to be in the game. So he could have used that to advantage there, but he decided to go the ground and pound. Maybe a smart choice.
Yeah, both of them are using some lovely head
Oh.
movement here. Digging to that body, gets a stun. Another knee follows, and another knee there. Like, it seems to be the case of you should stop trying to punch them when they're just head movement and just dig to that body instead and hope something works. Maybe try a random kick if you feel like it. You never know what can land. Like, the power of being unorthodox just works, and that being said, lovely head kick there.
Oh. Yeah, this is Humble's fight to win, in my opinion. It's really just easy pickings from now, isn't it? As McGregor, he's got 94 punch power, I believe, maybe more.
Yeah,
So,
McGregor does hit like a truck, especially in the featherweight division. Poirier doesn't have the stat buff that he does in lightweight, so it's kind of a sketchy pick. With that being said, though, going into this third round, Humble seems to be up, but you can never really count the other person out, especially when you don't know the judges particularly well or seen the scorecards. Another takedown there does get denied, and another dig to the body, goes up with the uppercut, digs up top, and the hook in retaliation, up overhand follows Ginger.
now this is another one that's kind of weird, Poirier hasn't gotten nowhere near the amount of stamina that McGregor has, and that's normally the reversed pick. So it's kind of weird to see, but it's like, that's what happens when you use your head movement a lot. That's what happens. See, he's doing it again. He's going to do it again soon, I would assume. There you go.
Oh, that
again.
overhand clips him. He doesn't jump. Lovely job there, but this is a league fight, and sometimes not jumping will be the end all. Does go for there.
He may just be trying to be too cocky and go for the flashy finish.
Yeah, that is sometimes the case.
It's looking like he's going to get that.
I mean, so far, T-Soul's been putting it on his back for McGregor's just picking apart that box, going overhands there, though. Another takedown gets him. You could easily go for a giddy attempt, especially where the arm position was, but somehow not the way this game goes. Lovely back reversal, and probably looks at the get up from this position.
Yeah, we're seeing now. It's really just Humble's fight now, isn't it? We're seeing this now. He's been on the black foot for so long, and it's really just even using the overhands quite well, to be fair to him, but it's too late. It's too late to fight now, to be honest. But that was a really nice single leg bill, sorry. There from Two-Soul Rab, and second control could go for another for a late sub. And no. We're seeing him go for the camera a lot, which means he really is panicking and he really does not want to lose this fight.
Lovely knockdown.
Yeah, he jumped. That's it. Good night. Oh, that was he spared him. He spared him. But yeah, this is really good. This is really good from Humble Dink here. That's it. Oh, maybe not. He really doesn't want to finish this.
Yeah, lovely heavy ground and pound here, and he narrowly avoids getting finished. That chin and stam is basically dead. The block is the only thing keeping him alive. He jumps back into the guard, comes out of it, and lovely job. Digs down.
No, wait, he's got stamina.
Yeah, both of them are gassed, and a head kick finishes off end of the round. Lovely job.
That was exciting. I enjoyed that.
I did really as well. It was a very much back and forth fight.
Yeah, well, now we're moving on to one of my most anticipated fights that I'm really looking forward to seeing here is Killer Jake versus KM Valentine. What weight is that, Doc?
I believe it is in the featherweight division, which is an interesting one since we all know that Jake's pick in that division would be McGregor. I know Valentine.
Too, because we all know that Valentine's pick in that division is McGregor. So
we seem to have a slight issue as we wait. We have to wait another 30 seconds purely for the fact of Valentine has ads on his stream.
Thank you, Twitch. Thank you very much. Well, what would you like to see here from like a McGregor mirror match potentially, or maybe a counter pick to McGregor? So what would you like to see here, Doc? I just got ignored. Well, I personally, like I said before, Aldo's really good for body work and body kicks, so
Yeah.
I would really go for Aldo, but that's just me because I'm biased.
I mean, I understand why you would pick Aldo, but in a McGregor, especially with someone like Jake, you want to probably mirror him, to be fair.
I guessed it. I guessed it. I guessed it. Who guessed it? Me. I am a psychic. 2 McGregor.
You could have just asked him, but with that being said,
No, I didn't. No, why would I do that? Yeah. Well,
both of them lobbying up into the featherweight division. Valentine versus Killer Jake. Both of them are predominantly known as strikers. Valentine gets kind of a bit sketchy in league fights, so does Jake, so it's very good.
I'm excited. McGregor versus McGregor means finish. So I'm looking to see an absolute war of exchanges. So some really nice counter punching, boxing. Yeah, maybe some hit kicks. There you go. There's Valentine with a pushback kick and Jake right back at him. He's starting off his combos with hooks, stuff like that. Careful them. Does you want to be pulled back on?
Yeah, I'm expecting Jake here to come out aggressive. That combo we've seen so many times with Valentine. If you looked in his last fight as well, it was the same lovely slip body uppercut there. And both of them are already starting to look for the kill with McGregor.
Which is what you want to see from a McGregor fight. You want to see a knockout. You don't want to see arm bars from top mount, do you? No. You want to see an arm bar from top mount? No. Unless you're obviously a grappler and stuff like that. But me, personally, I would love to see a knockout.
Lovely body roundhouse. That was definitely to the head, but we continue. Both of them staying fairly composed, picking shots. 1-2. Lovely counter by Jake, ducking under, but narrowly avoids actually landing the counter properly. Valentine so far seems to be leading this fight. Jake's trying to play catch up, but he's not actually that bad. He is landing shots when he does throw. Valentine mirroring the combos that Jake is throwing. A lovely body roundhouse to the body. And that hand plant has definitely been the name of the game for Valentine so far. Again, though, Jake is snapping back down to that body. Both of them going that jab, lead hook straight and just whiffing every time it throws. The stamina is now starting to go in the favour of Jake. The cardio of Valentine is starting to stutter slightly, but that's no real surprise when he seems to have the more active game style here. We seem to have lost Ginger very slightly here, ladies and gentlemen, so that means you are currently stuck with me. Valentine is doing a fantastic job here, playing the safe game. Jake, on the other hand, is that footwork of Jake is such a crucial aspect, especially when playing McGregor. He's got a high amount of footwork, so it's just very easy to pick apart your opponent. Lovely turner there by Jakey, and 40 seconds left on the clock. So far, it's very much evenly matched. The head health of Valentine seems to be higher than Jake. Valentine's managed to dig across the entire body. Lovely spinning body kick there. 30 seconds left. Now Jake on the front foot, putting on this pressure, looking to get past that block of Valentine's. And both of them are just... That was a lovely combo there, using that lunging jab, and it just worked fantastically.
How you doing, Doctor? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello, Humble. You joined in on the fray. That's always a good thing to know. So,
How you doing, man?
I'm
Great
doing.
fight so far.
Yeah, great fight. Valentine definitely seems to come out the strongest person. And if you were a betting person, I would definitely say that Jake would be the strongest striker in this aspect. But a league fight does change all aspects. Lovely job on your fight as well, or in the previous one, using McGregor. What would you have to say about these two?
These two, obviously, Conor McGregor, a lot of power in the hands. I'd be looking for the counter strikes. Whoever lands that big counter strike, and whoever's the person who's landing the big shot usually wins the fight with McGregor. Obviously, the block breaking aspect is a key to McGregor, but one shot can end it at any moment here.
Yeah, again, but the tricky thing about getting the block breaks, if your opponent doesn't keep his head on the line as much, you end up in this very difficult position where you can't work down that block. Valentine looks like he can go for a takedown, getting a bit flustered on the feet. Those straight on McGregor is definitely landing clean. He lands a lovely counter uppercut, putting on this pressure now, and Jakey fires a combo back.
And that's exactly what I was talking about right there. That one big shot, that one big counter punch can end the fight at any moment. And he's got his opponent hurt right now, stumbling back as his opponent rushes forward, trying to get some momentum back. He gets caught again with a big left hook, or right hook even.
Yeah, so you have lovely pullback counter there with an elbow digs to that body, exactly what you wanted to. Jake putting on his pressure. He has also got the better cardio, so Valentine's got to be wary. That body stun digs up top, and this is exactly what happens when you fight Killer Jake. It's all steady, and then sudden massive momentum happens at you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's doing a really good job at the moment. This could go either way, though. I'm seeing adjustments from both sides, both trying to get reads from each other. It is predominantly boxing at the moment, but he can't.
Lovely job there again. Yeah, but as you said, they're both making adjustments. They're both doing good. The biggest issue I'm seeing is Valentine's gassed out. And Jake's done a fantastic job. Every time he got attacked, he would dig down to the body straight afterwards. Lovely spinning kick there, digs over top. And that one combo isn't working. Lovely flying knee, but it doesn't actually land. Digs down to that body. Another body stun comes up top, doubles up on the uppercuts. Finally gets to land, digs on top, and we're now in top mount. Jakey looking for that ground and pound, and he gets the finish.
In the second round, Jake gets the finish. Beautiful display there. He's under some adversity there, Doctor, in the second round, but he managed to get it done. He gets to the ground and pound position of mount, postures up, and gets some beautiful ground and pound off to finish the fight.
Indeed, as we saw that Valentine outstruck him in the first. The second round, not really the case. Jake definitely took it all away. That's the wrong title screen. Apologies. We are now on the right one.
Doctor's trying to do a lot at the moment, a lot of this, so bear with him. He's doing his best.
With that being said, I believe we've had to have a slight fill-in with this next fight coming up of KJ Fired versus the Aussie, with a swear word at the end. But what do you expect from an Aussie?
I mean, it's part of the culture, you know. You gotta.
Yeah,
really.
Again, it is like about 6 a.m. for them, and so the fact he's even fighting is impressive. With that being said, I think we should get straight into this so the Aussies don't have to stay awake for any longer than they have to. We're in the middle.
Especially people like Mystic Mac, there's always a high ping. Sometimes it's incredibly stable. I know I play one of my friends, and he lives in Pakistan, and we have one of the best connections ever, but it's 500 ms. It's a strange combination, but
I have the same with Dover, one of our other commentators. I fought him on a Vengeance card. It's honestly 300 ping, but it's the most stable thing you ever do. It's really quite strange.
Bizarre. One of them things. You just gotta, you gotta deal with it as it comes along. If it's not a problem, it's not a problem. But if it is, you know, it is. And
here we see Aussie picking the Aussie love of the nation, Robert Whittaker. In the other corner, we have Costa. Got good hands, got good kicks. Not fantastic on the grappling, but when you're fighting a Whittaker, you got to admit, you wouldn't expect it to get taken down to the ground that very often.
This is the thing. This is competitive league fights. Anything can happen, and sometimes people like to surprise you. You know, Robert Whittaker doesn't have bad grappling, but at the same time, if you're getting hurt, you want to mix it up. It is mixed martial arts at the end of the day, Doctor. So I'd advise it. I sometimes take people down with Conor. I did some ground and pound in that fight. It shocks people, especially if you can grapple with a striker.
Lovely knockdown there. So far, K-Fired is putting on his pressure. Does get the reversal though. Lovely job there. We're in a top mount position. He goes for an armbar. Interesting choice for saying the ping, as I've mentioned a few times. When it comes to subs, it's kind of sketchy trying to sub someone on very high ping, because you can definitely feel the issue there. It's
one of them things is where whoever's got the ping, usually the opposite person gets the bad lag, and if you're on the defending end, it's hard to actually defend the subs as well. So it completely depends sometimes. But yeah, it seems to be absolutely fine at the moment. These two are catching each other's timing. Great pullback right then, doesn't quite land, and it's a battle of distance at the moment. Obviously, Paulo Costa, one hit shot, but Rob Whittaker can build the volume and start.
Another head kick lands. That's exactly what we want. You got to remember, Costa is also got a knockdown already, so he doesn't need to play aggressive. He can just play on back foot counter Whittaker, but seems like Ozzy has other plans of that. He wants to counter himself.
Big shot to the body right there. Nice work, and obviously one of my favourite moves right there, the ducking roundhouse. Lovely work. He's using Whittaker really well, in and out movement. You can't stand in the pocket for too long with Costa, and you've got to be wary. He's throwing a lot of big kicks at the moment. Now, if I'm Whittaker, I'm trying to bait them kicks. I'm trying to get some of them out. I'm trying to entice them kicks and then counter them, because they're high vulnerability shots. Obviously, you've got to go the right way. You've got to move the right way, and if you don't, you could get hurt. But if you can get a pattern on your opponent, it could be nights out.
Yeah, indeed, but that's what this game is. It's getting patterns on your opponents, it's getting reads, and it's making those reads to counter them. In this case, both of them are playing fairly safe forward. Ozzy's digging to that body, Costa looking for that big shot up top, which he did get very early on. He is having a slight issue with the range management, as we saw whipping those kicks, but also Ozzy is looking to counter with that ducking roundhouse. The favourite of cardio is going for Costa, but knowing that Whittaker's got like 96 recovery, you know, if you're Ozzy, you're just happy to expel half of your stamina, and you'll be right back up to the top by the end of it.
Especially when someone's throwing kicks and whiffing like that as well, and you can kind of pick your shots at range. This is one of them things is where it's not necessarily about who's got the better combinations in the pocket at the moment. It's who understands the range better for me. And currently AJ's Fire, if he stays a bit more patient, he stays on the outside a bit more, trying to bait those kicks, he's going to have an easier time trying to catch Ozzy than he is in the pocket.
Well, it's an interesting point with the kicks, because you want to be on the outside to bait them, but to counter them you want to be on the inside, especially when you counter them hard, because of the vulnerability window you do get from whiffing a massive kick is suitable for like a hook or uppercut. So it's kind of this interesting part where you want to be outside the pocket as they throw it, but then come inside just so you can get the counter off.
Yeah, and that usually happens when their momentum takes them forwards and you kind of meet them as well. It's kind of a shift between both parties. But yeah, we've seen some good highlights here. I do give Costa that round. He landed some big shots. Both guys getting off, but the knockdown from Costa, for me, was the pinnacle moment of that fight.
Yeah, I do agree. The pinnacle moment of that was very beginning, very early, which means it doesn't really show a clear sign of how the fight's going to go. But it is definitely the case for K5 to be holding the first round down. Digs that body kick. Ozzy coming in with this boxing quite hard, and I'm expecting K5 to look for some type of counter shot here as we begin with the second round.
Nice work there. Starting to go to the legs a bit as well. I usually avoid that, especially when you've already waited around, but as you can see, he's starting to get timed with the punches right there from that Aussie. He's got to be careful. K5 fired as he fires them kicks in the pocket. As he gets dropped with an uppercut right there. Can Aussie take him out? A beautiful combination right there, Doctor.
Yeah, very beautiful. It nearly kills him. It was a 1-2 head kick, but instead of the head kick, it was a ducking round down. Tries it again. That's been the main shot of Aussie's arsenal here. The head tail, as I saw, was flinking up and blinking for Aussie after a couple of shots. So the power of Costa is definitely making itself known. That left leg is now also blinking. Head kick stuns him, and he digs up on top. He tries to go for the uppercut, but he narrowly avoids it. The pull back narrowly avoids it. Misses the overhand, comes in with a straight, and both of them are looking to kill. If K5 can land one clean headshot, I think he will be golden. But the issue is Aussie's making sure to cover up at the right time, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. This is a great fight. We have a fight in our hands right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is a war, as we're seeing both men make adjustments. Both men are trying to land that big shot, as we see it right there, Doctor.
Yeah, I do feel like the vulnerability window scared out Aussie just a bit there, but that happens when you're playing this game. Lovely legs done there, digs to the body up top, goes up with an uppercut to the head, digs down the legs again, does get checked, and probably a front kick may actually be in the favour of Costa if he can actually throw it, and he does land one. Digs over to that leg and goes a head kick. He's looking for some big shots. Both of them just trying anything. Head kick, knees to the head. That head
work right there.
Yeah,
beautiful work defensively from that Aussie. Just landing. It's like DC versus Cormier all over again.
Oh, that. Well, again, it's interesting to see that Whitaker does actually have the lower cardio. AJ Fires has done a fantastic job here keeping that cardio high. If he actually counters on a whiff kick with something like an overhand, he may be actually able to get the stun and get it down. Digs up top. Goes up with that lead uppercut. He needs something a bit more straight. Goes into the ducking roundhouse to counter a leg kick.
And again, he throws it with no stamina, though. The leg kick's coming back, and this is gonna disable his power. That's the thing about them leg kicks. When you're moving your head, when you're moving so much, and someone goes down the
front kick,
goes to the leg, it takes that base away.
I feel like the boxing of Costa needs to be more, as we see, like, lovely counter there by Aussie, digging to that body. Now, lovely avoid of the straight down the middle, and so far, this an armbar attempt.
Over 30 people watching in the chat. Is he going to get this right now? Oh, he's following that red bar, but it looks like he's going to get out. It's a difficult submission to get, especially.
Well, you say that it's only 7 seconds left, so even if so, it's not really much point. So, lovely pick up there and a slam straight down.
Big points there for both guys, really, but I don't even know who ended the round better, because obviously you're taking the submission with one gate versus the slam, etc. It was a very close fight. I don't know which one this is going at the moment. I know Costa took the first. Second one is definitely a question mark. I know Costa landed quite a lot of stuff. This could mean that Aussie needs to try and knock him out in this round. Who knows? But let's see if we see the same fireworks that we've seen in the first and second round, Doctor.
Yeah, indeed. Both of them got a knockout apart each, and now I'd expect both of them to get a knockdown this round, to be fair. The head health of both opponents is very low. The leg kick has forced Aussie to switch stance. The boxing of K5 seems to be the sketchiest part of this entire fight, whilst Aussie's range management has been a key part in how this fight has progressed, Humble.
100%. It's been an interesting back and forth. Especially with stuff. I believe both men can work on some stuff. I think the AJ's camp's a fantastic camp. They'll go away and look at this performance and pick out little bits and bobs. The patience from both guys as well. Unnecessary shots for me sometimes, Doctor. When you've got your opponent's leg hurt, I'd be looking to counter some of their shots and go back to that. Don't be throwing big head kicks, big movement. As we get a big rock right there, can he finish the pull?
Oh, lovely job there. Gets the stun, pull back there, and it's very risky. Lovely cover up there by K5. He's now stuck against his cage, and he trades an uppercut, and he just ill-timed. The block of Costa is somehow staying alive. Finally gets the shot off that, gets a knockdown, and with that, we're looking at a near finish. If he doesn't get finished, and he does.
Wow, great work. That Aussie, it was a back and forth slugfest, something you expect from a Whitaker versus Costa matchup. Maybe not from my perspective, because I think Whitaker smokes him, but similar to the Yoel Romero Costa. Always Costa fights are exciting, right? Even if he gets beat, they're exciting, and that's exactly what that fight was. It was exciting with the Aussie coming out on top. Great work. What a fight we just had right there. Third round finishes. Well, look at them scorecards. It was going to Costa.
Was going to Costa. Lovely job there by K5. Lovely finish there by Aussie, getting the card back. I mean, that being said, we're on to the next.
As well.
Which I think we have a slight issue due to the fact Aussie, his brother, is now fighting up next. So we may have to wait about 5 minutes just to make sure to them leveled up in the meantime.
Are they switching over or something?
Yeah, they both fight on the same console, so I think they just have to swap over.
They can't need each other's guys, so what happened there? He was in the corner of his brother. He needs to go back in the locker room right now, get his shorts on, get gloved up real quickly, and then we'll get him straight back out to fight, and his brother's going to corner him, and that's I don't know what's going to happen right now. But yeah, I'm only here for a short time today, guys. I have to go and do some work in a bit, but I'm covering for Ginger. Ginga, are you still here?
I just came back.
There we go. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Humble. How about yourself?
Oh, it's been fantastic. I had a good fight earlier on. I enjoyed that. That was my first fight on today. I've been taking my son everywhere. It's been a great day. I literally had a sleep, came back, jumped on the console, and I fought that guy. I wanted to get some rounds in. Great opponent. Thank you to Soul. He was fantastic. First time in prime time. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the setup. Really enjoyed the way this is ran. It's a fantastic league. And if you want to join the league, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get that Discord in the chat right now for you guys to join. Make sure you join. It's Xbox and PlayStation. We take all competitors, all levels, and we'll try and get you matched up on the cards. Do join PrimeTime because it's a fantastic league and you will be looked after.
Well, I feel like we should just stick you as the promoter now. It would just be work a lot better. Well, whilst we wait, we might as well look at the rest of the card. We have Broomstick versus Dale, both fan-friendly fighters. That should be one hell of a fight. In the welterweight division, I'm expecting a Ferguson pick off a Dale. I'm not sure about anybody else, but that's going to be a fun fight. Further on in the card, as I mentioned earlier in the introduction, we got Yiga versus Webcam. That's going to be a good fight. You both going to admit.
Yeah, that's going to be a fantastic fight, especially we've seen Yika's fight recently with Tony Ferguson. He had a fantastic last matchup that I called. It was a beautiful performance. It felt like I was watching Tony Ferguson in real life. That's how good his performance was. I'd just like to point out the co-main event right there. My teammate, Josh Ray, KIA Ray, absolutely fantastic competitor. He always smokes me in the spars that we have. I'm not even going to be... to be humble when I say this, Josh Ray is a fantastic competitor. He's fighting Cryptic. I don't know too much about Cryptic. Maybe one of you guys can tell us something about him.
Cryptic's been up and coming. He's had a bit of a sketchy start, but has consistently won and has done a fantastic job. He's got a couple of good wins under his belt. He's been all a bit all over the place, but he's very much a good, inconsistent fighter. I believe he's more technically a striker, but I could be wrong on that part. With that being said, though, we're into the little obesity versus goals. In the heavyweight division, I think they're both trying to sort out their fighters now. Both a bit unsure. I think Goals is just trying to work out which fucker he wants to go. Obesity sticking with the Jones pick. I think we may see a Curtis Blade, so this may have just been a weird grappling match.
Interesting. Very, very interesting pick there, Ginga. What do you make of that one? Curtis Blade versus John Jones.
It's just John Jones. It's one of the best fighters in the division. And Curtis Blades, he was pretty good grappling sides if I can remember, but it's one of the things now where you really need to be skilled to outstat John Jones.
Yeah, John Jones is an interesting one because I see a lot of people using him. I use him a lot. I got really good with him at one point, being some of the best players in the world with him. And a lot of it's cheese, though, let's be real. A lot of it's the knees, the elbows, all of the different the ground game, etc. And you can't get away from that with John Jones. And that's a kind of a problem. Here we go.
Indeed, touch of gloves here. We see already a major head kick starting out. Both of them not in the pocket, which is an interesting choice, especially for saying Curtis Blade has got the bigger power, has got the better boxing, and he evidently shows that getting the knockdown early on here.
Beautiful work. That's some interesting boxing right there from Curtis Blades. He looks like he's overextended, but he does have a nice jab straight there, which I've not seen before. I haven't seen many people actually use Curtis Blades. I don't know about yourself, Ginga, but he looks okay, especially as he goes for the takedown right there.
Lovely denial there by Jones. Yeah, I mean, I haven't used Blades much myself, but I know the right person can use him really well, and he can beat the likes of Jones and things like this. I know, I've seen Goals play like this against my team with Dale. He has really good strike management. He just kind of forgets, really reliant on hooks, but he's able to use them hooks to his advantage really well. So I just want to see how he adapts and does this against.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Blade so far has done a fantastic job just got firing it straight after straight. That seems to be his main shot. He has got a knockdown as well on Jones. Switch kick to the body by Little Beastie, and he's just done a fantastic job getting the footwork down, whilst on the other hand, Goals is landing some very clean shots on top.
Nice work right there as well. I don't know if his name properly. I don't want to butcher it, but a little obesity, is that right? We'll just go with that. He was doing a really good job there, just mixing it up. That's one of the things you've got to do with Jones. You've got to give him different looks every single time.
This is and he gets to finish. Well, that happened all of a sudden.
That was insane.
That was quick.
It was that shocking, just underwhelming.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It was impressive. I would agree. It's impressive, but it's definitely a question of is it underwhelming or shocking?
I mean, it's definitely not underwhelming for Goals. He's just got a first round finish over a tough guy right there with some nice ground and pound. The animation was suspect, maybe, I don't know, because he looked like he was blocking a few of them elbows. Then maybe he's got really good ground and pound, I don't know, but he gets in that position and he capitalizes on it and finishes the opponent. That's all Goals could do in that situation. He must have knew something that we didn't as commentators.
Evidently he did, though. With that being said, we're on to the next fight with Chasing Fan versus Easy Mixer. Off with the win of that weird fight between Obesity and I've just forgot his name, and he's won the fight. Goals, that'll be the one.
I'm going to shoot after this one, guys. I was just covering. Have a great event. Thank you for having me for the time, Ginger and Doctor. And I'm sure we got the Looney in here now.
That you have, young sir, that you have. I've doubled up on the meds. We are raring to go. Thought we'd jump in for
You crazy motherfucker.
Hopefully the voice holds out for a little while. Appreciate you jumping in there, Mr. Humbledink, covering the work. It's always a pleasure to have you in here, brother, and I know that we'll have you in here again shortly, but you have a great night there, my man.
Thank you very much. Catch you there, boys. Bye.
Adios. With that being said, though, it was 4. Now it's down to 3. Me, Looney, and Ginger in the commentary booth. Easy mix-up versus Chasing Famous to fight up next in the featherweight division. Does seem to be a Figueiredo versus the Johnson pick, so this should be an interesting fight.
Yeah, it really, really should. Chase Me Fam, obviously a guy that's been around the scene for a very, very long time. Some ups and downs, had some really, really tough opponents in the season 2 in particular. He's had a kind of a lineup of absolute killers, and Easy Mix-Ups is one of those guys, Ginger. He seems to be making some waves, obviously, within the promotion. Has been putting on some really, really good fights all round, and with the pick of Demetrius Johnson as well, you know that he's going to be incredibly well-rounded, really going to be able to take up the fight wherever he wants, and as the name would suggest, he's going to have to mix it up really, really well to get the W over somebody like Chase Me Fam.
Like you said, a Mighty Mouse pick is it means he's really balanced. So I want to see if he can just do it in the feet, or he can just do it in the ground, or maybe he can just be a balanced fighter all around. But Chase Me Fam's a killer too. I played with him a few times on ranked, and boy, is that guy hard to kill.
Yeah.
One time you get a stun, next time you're on the ground, you're ready to be tapped out. He's dangerous.
But it's funnily enough, just as the namesake of Easy Mix-Ups, it's one of the things that both guys are going to have to do there, Doc, going into this fight, is mix it up really well. We've seen Chase Me Fam in his past performances. When he's at his best, he's mixing in the grappling into his striking, and the same can be said for Mix-Ups. These guys are not one-trick ponies. They don't come out here relying on one, kind of strategy or area of excellence that they have. They really do mix it up really very, very, very well, and that really is the key to success, at least from my perspective.
Yeah, indeed. We did see Easy Mix-Up come up in his seasonal debut, I believe, with a very much a grappling-based style. As we see here, he shoots a takedown and gets it very cleanly. You have got to be wary of Figueiredo's fantastic bottom game. He's got good subs, and he's got a rubber guard in full guard, so it's something to be aware of. DJ, on the other hand, is very much a mixed character. The only thing he doesn't have is power, but that doesn't really matter in the featherweight division when nobody seems to have any power.
Well, you do say that, but Figueiredo has those heavy, heavy hands, hits like, honestly, like a lightweight in some of them. But like you said, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get those shots off when you're on the bottom of this, especially, when he's on his back in that full guard, he's got some options, but outside of that, Demetrius Johnson just has such a well-rounded game. He can really often clamp down on those positions very well. Nice stand-up there, though, and an excellent takedown defense from Mix-Ups. Obviously very, very aware that that shot was coming, able to stop it nice and cleanly there, Ginge.
What I seen the first time they went on the ground, Chase Me Fam was really, really good at building up his grapple advantage. I mean, I want to see that again. I want to see him go for the full guard, and then go for the rubber guard and get maybe a possible reversal, and then something to think. Oh, but this is dangerous.
Lovely deny there. He gets it with the ground and pound starting to be heavy. Does get the gut back into it. Now into half guard. Lovely job there by Figueiredo. Just controlling it, making sure not taking damage as he's in dangerous spots.
It's really important to mitigate the damage when your opponent's posturing up in these heavy positions. He does manage to get the full guard for a moment, but obviously an excellent job once again from Johnson, just staying very cognitive, able to posture up, use the slight advantage in terms of stamina that he had to slice across into half guard. These guys really jockeying for position so far there, Ginge, but once again, obviously Demetrius Johnson, as you mentioned, really does need to stay out of the full guard if he's going to have success on the ground. Figueiredo's just too dangerous in those spots.
Figueiredo's just, these are two really, really well-rounded characters. Flyweights are very small division. There's only about 12, 13 fighters on there. Maybe a little less, but there really are some killers on there, like Dillashaw, like Figueiredo, like Mighty Mouse, like Askarov, like Moreno.
Literally half the division is killers, pretty much. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like in featherweight, you can't really go wrong with a pick. Figueiredo and DJ are both fantastic picks. Figueiredo doesn't necessarily have the top game, but he makes up on his bottom game and the power in his hands. Lovely spinning heel kick there to send off the final bells of the first round. Going into the second, I don't know what I'm expecting to see, Looney. What would you say?
Quite honestly, I'm not sure what we're going to see, but the way I'm seeing this at the moment, obviously Figueiredo, as you would expect, has the power advantage. He really should be looking for some of the counter shots. A lot of Demetrius Johnson fighters having that speed advantage that he has. I'm pretty sure he's the fastest fighter in the weight class. He's just so good at pressing forward, landing those shots, and that would be my kind of mention to Chase Me Fam is maybe try to play second fiddle on this one, try to look for those big counters and look to land some big high vulnerability shots, Ginger, because otherwise he's going to get beaten to the punch due to the speed that Demetrius Johnson has.
Like you said earlier, with the counter punches, it's really make or break here for Chase Me Fam, because only needs a little bit of that permanent head damage or that speed of Demetrius Johnson's just gonna end up catching up on you. It really is it's like a lightning bolt. That's what, if I'm playing against him, it's like a lightning bolt. It's really fast. You don't have time to react. It's just speed, pure speed. What would you do now if you were in the hands of Johnson?
Not get taken down. Probably actually do the takedown myself. Let's see how Figueiredo feels to get put on the ground. It did seem like DJ had a bit more success on the ground than he's had on the feet so far. You definitely want to be putting this pressure. You're just allowing Figgy to back you up. And yes, you should be wary of that power. But so far, every time he's come forward, he seems to have landed some type of shot. Narrowly avoids getting the counter there. 3 minutes left on the clock. And so far, this has been a fight. Chase Me Fam has been leading so far, Looney.
Yeah, I think both guys having moments of success, but the takedown defense from both gentlemen has been absolutely on point. There's been a couple that have been, actually successful, but for the most part, they seem to be stuffing them very, very well. And the fact that it's been so evenly back and forth with the takedown defense has allowed the stamina to stay very, very equal. You don't often see, people really gassing in this weight class either. The flyweights in particular, they have such a massive gas tank there, Ginge, whether it be the striking or the grappling. They're all very, very well versed, as you alluded to earlier. So, you really have to work your opponent in order to try and get an advantage in these lower weight classes.
Yeah, like you said, you have to put them down. You have to, it's really hard to get the head damage down too if you're fighting with Demetrius Johnson or Figueiredo. So it really is hard, but. It's just really, you just have to grind on it, don't you? It takes 1 or 2 rounds. That was a really nice jab hook there from the DJ, and a lovely takedown. Oh, got the full guard sweep. So maybe I would ideally go for be the bottom of the full guard here if I was Figueiredo, but what would you like to do here if you were Figueiredo here, Doc?
If I'm Figueiredo, I'm looking for the top mount. He's got power in his hands. Let's use them. Let's make Demetrius Johnson regret shooting that takedown. Let's start raining down some heavy ground and pound. You've got the power in Figgy's hands to do it, but lovely job by Mix-Ups getting the get up after slipping the straight. With 20 seconds left on the clock, this has definitely been a back and forth fight. I would definitely give it to the favour of Chase Me Fam, but that's purely for the fact he's been leading the fight. As I say that though, Mix-Up has landed some clean and heavy shots there.
Nice. And that was a nice head movement, the pull-offs, but once again, Johnson just answering back with a flurry to close out the round. I'd be interested to see the stats at this point. I think these guys, and as we call for it, they do pull them up. 10 strikes towards Chase Me Fam, significant, slight disadvantage in terms of total. Yeah, both guys very, very back and forth. It does look like Chase Me Fam may be having a slight, and I mean a very, very slight advantage over the course of this fight in terms of the statistics, but we all know that the most accurate element of this game is the judging. It is wildly inconsistent at best, and you really don't want to leave it go to the judges, if you have the opportunity. Nice way of mixing it up from easy mix-ups, getting that big knockdown. That's the biggest moment in the fight so far, and now he's pressing forward, emptying that gas tank and trying to get the finish. Exactly what you want to see.
He knows he knows he's 2 rounds down. He knows he needs to get a finish now, and that's exactly what he's doing. At least on the stats, he is 2 round downs. As you said, the judging ain't the best, but as you see here, Mix-Ups is taking that as word of the wise and just looking for every type of shot he can land.
A good job of just grinding down the block and just opening up opportunities. Oh, that was really nice. That landed correctly. That could have been really good there, but. He's doing a really good job of wearing down the blocks like he just did there. So that and a little bit more, and that could be on the fight. And another takedown here from Mix-Ups. And that was seeing a lot of ground game here. But
yeah, a lot of ground game. Both of them fairly competent in it though, so you don't see anybody really taking dominant positions. Probably Mix-Up wants to look for a top man position, just get some heavy ground and pound, try to get that finish. I think Mix-Up needs his finish coming out of this 3rd round.
Yeah, there's a lot of time to work for him as well. And one of the interesting things to note is these flyweight divisions, especially with like Demetrius Johnson and Figgy, if they are able to get into a dominant position, posture up, and let those hands go, they can, rain down maybe 10, 15 strikes before having to posture down, just due to the cardio and the ground, the groundwork that they actually have on the game statistic-wise. So now with Chase Me Fam on top, looks like he may be able to try and do that. Nice denial once again from Mix-Up. These guys really, really are countering each other very, very beautifully on the ground. One thing I will kind of point out, though, is that Chase Me Fam, he's had some adversity in this, in this third and final round, but he's had so many high-level fights in the past, specifically back in UFC 3. He was champion for a very, very long time on UFC 3, that he just genuinely doesn't get frustrated, even though there's a big moment against him. As you can see, he seems to have recomposed himself and is marching forward, but he's maybe eating a couple too many shots, would you say, guys, as he's walking onto him? But there it is. That's what he was looking for. Flips straight.
Nearly gets to finish there, putting on this pressure there, and that so far has been the name of the game for Chase Me Fam. He's just trying to look for any kind of shot to get the payback in the round, but he wants to get this a 30-27 instead of a 29-28, evidently.
Yeah, I mean, with this third round, the big moment from Mix-Up, it's going to be hard to get that, but like I say, the first two rounds, this is all about equaling out this third one, making sure that the judges don't have like a 10-8 round with a big knockdown and rock, that he was able to get a little bit earlier on. A lovely rip to the body and a head kick. Now, this is the way you take the judges out of it, or at least get them on side. Back and forth, closing it out, Ginger, my God.
Wild head kick there. Gets to drop and he goes to the finish, but both teleport back up onto their feet.
He teleported too.
That was close.
I don't know what we witnessed at the end. That was an interesting clinch exchange to close out the round. Ended up in a kind of trying to take each other's back, but no, honestly, back and forth action, especially in that third round. You love to see it. These guys did not want to go to the judges. They really did empty the gas tank. Those flyweights have a lot of cardio, and they emptied it in that third round. About to see who got the nod. You've got to think that after those early two rounds, probably going to be leaning towards Chase Me Fam. Figgy probably got the job done, but you never know.
No.
Demetrius Johnson, and that's what it is, brother. You just don't know.
Can I point out, from what I heard, an unanimous decision, 30-27.
Oh my God! Can we see those statistics one more time?
Can we? I don't know. But I'd love to see those statistics. I'd love to see what the judges give. Oh.
No, maybe not. Maybe not. Wow, that was one hell of a fight, bro.
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I'm very much surprised as well.
Oh, yes. This is going to be a good one.
With that being said, guys, we have two of the most fan-friendly favorites in the promotion. Going to be having BSD Broomstick, one of the faithful, fighting on the Fight Club cards for quite some time, able to put together some nice-ass wins, and now moving up onto the pay-per-view, if you will, or our Saturday events. Obviously, up against TMF's very own Dale motherfucking Denton. This man always puts on incredible fights, Ginger. Being a campmate of yours, you know how unorthodox this man is and how durable. He just really, really doesn't... He doesn't go away without a fight, and, often finds a way to turn that round. That's why he was called the Comeback Kid.
There's really just... He is so... What I realized about Dale is he's so cardio line. Sometimes I would maul him for a ride, that he would come out. He would just like throw and he would keep all his stamina. And he's a really good Tony in my opinion. But Broomstick, we had a fight here in PrimeTime a couple months ago, and he got I was beating him, and then he just came back out of nowhere and hit me with a really big combo. I remember it was a really good combo, and he knocked me out. So anything could happen in this fight, two really good underdogs that, I just can't wait.
Yeah, me neither. Dale, as you said, is the comeback kid and cardio king. On the other hand, Broomstick is a fun fight all around. He narrowly took a loss to Pudgy, having a hectic 3-round fight in an Aldo mirror match. So this is bound to be a good fight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, TMF Dale Denton going with his, habitual Tony Ferguson pick. That is a perfect pick for him. The unorthodox striking, the cardio, just the man never, ever gets tired. Obviously, the body snatchers degree over there with Broomstick, going with the Gilbert Burns pick. That guy's got crazy power in his hands, and obviously the jiu-jitsu skills that are really unrivaled. These guys can take this fight wherever it goes, but often when you see two guys that are very well versed and kind of back and forth, they often end up duking it on the feet, due to the fact that obviously it's really on the ground, it can slip away so quickly. And you often don't want to risk that up against a very, very well versed opponent that has those jiu-jitsu skills to go with it, the ground and pound, the submissions, it's all incredibly threatening. So I imagine that we're going to see these two really, really try to duke it out on the feet, as we see him opening up with a flying knee. He's done that in the last couple there, Ginger, and he's had a lot of success with it.
He calls it the flying denton for a reason. Man just knows exactly how to use it and when to. He literally, every time we're on the spot, he goes, flying denton, or something like that. And I would just get knocked out. So I think he used it well, that could be the make or break of this fight.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, as well, it's a strike that some people use when they're not exactly experienced in the game, but the way that he uses it with his unorthodox style, it catches so many people off. But big leg kick opening up from Broomstick, going to the head afterwards, which is absolutely lovely to see. Kick low, then kick high when your opponent's got the hand starting to drop a little bit, being very wary of it. But that's why it's so dangerous. That flying knee, as his opponent was going for the body shot, narrowly missing Doc, and it could have been lights out. We've seen it time and time again. Those flying knees catch you at max vulnerability as your opponent's leaning forward. Very, very dangerous work.
Indeed. Well, Broomstick has done a fantastic job here. As you said, that flying knee is going to be an issue, but so far Broomstick has dug to that body without getting caught. Gets a stun there, digs again to the body, trades in the pocket. The power of Burns' hands is something to be scared of, and so far Dale's happy to take it each time on the chin. The major thing when you're using Burns is his recovery. If you get hurt and if you get outgassed, you're going to have massive issues coming into the second or third round, and so far he's done a fantastic job keeping that actually relatively high, even beating Ferguson in some cases.
I want to see a little bit more body work and stuff like that from Dale. I want to see a little bit more Beyblading with the spinning elbows. So yeah, Broomstick's doing pretty well here. He's getting the head damage in. He's going for the body at the right times, and it looks like it's his fight so far. And this is something you don't see from Dale. His stamina. He's whiffing a lot. So
well, this seems to be the key here. If you want to gas Dale, you dig to that body and you dig to it fast and quick. Narrowly avoids the flying knee there. Again, the cardio of Ferguson staying. Some wild shot. He seems to be the anatomy of Ferguson, it seems like. He's throwing every shot wild in the book and he should be on the ground, but he isn't. And nobody's really sure how, because he's standing up and he's staying here because he hasn't actually been dropped yet so far. He whiffs another kick, a lovely side kick there by Broomstick, and again 30 seconds left on the clock, and so far Burns is just putting on this pressure, and Dale has no real answer for it apart from being Tony Ferguson, apparently.
Well, that's not something you see often from Dale, a takedown. He's normally anti-grappling, to be honest, but yeah, you're right. He literally is Tony Ferguson. He is Tony Ferguson. But he's Tony Ferguson with a controller and a TV. So, he just needs to look for that flying knee, the flying denton.
That's a very dominant round by Broomstick. 34 significant strikes in the favour of Broomstick to 18 on Dale's. I'm expecting this second round to be very much a bit of a sketchy round and really showcase who's going to end up where. Good recovery by Dale Denton. He's got high cardio, but body health and chin health would definitely be an issue. So combos being thrown by Broomstick are definitely controlling the entirety of this fight, and they're just landing a lot cleaner. That lead hook narrowly avoids getting the stun, but he does get a stun with a strike. But his pressure going and a switch kick to the body doesn't do any damage, and Ferguson retaliates in payback.
We're seeing some nice pressure here from Broomstick, but maybe Dale needs to look for that counter. I know he's not a really big fan of it, but he needs to look for that pullback or that slip, and then it's really fair game. There's not a huge difference. Oh, flying denton. I'm gonna keep on calling flying denton as long as Dale's here. But yeah, he literally is. He is Tony Ferguson. Look at that. That was perfect. Nice Beyblading. My head hurts.
Let him rip. Let him rip, my man. Sometimes they get your opponent off. Like I said, the unorthodox is striking of Dale is really what does him so much success. Broomstick right now, though, I have to say, I mean, living up to the body snatchers degree's name, he's been ripping to that body throughout the entire fight, now doing some great work to the head as well, which is, much to do with it. Just like that, the straight to the body after the jab to the head, able to avoid the strike and just getting that chip damage up as he gets another big
body stun, and now he's on the ground looking for this finish. Heavy ground and pound as he enters into the clinch. 2 minutes 40 left on the clock, and he gets another knockdown here. And this is looking like it may be the end for Dale. Broomstick lands some heavy ground and pound. The block barely surviving and straight down the middle, and Ferguson's health is constantly on the blink now.
That's not something I want to see here, with Calbert.
This is it. That's it.
Well,
and that's the problem on the ground. Like I said, these guys, they have such high ground game that when they just get an opportunity to rip up those strikes, just like we saw from the mighty Gilbert Burns in the hands of Broomstick there, that's exactly what he needed to do. He got his damage off on the feet. Once he was able to get him down on the ground, was able to follow that up, Ginger, and close out the show. And that killer instinct is exactly what's needed in order to progress up the rankings. Smelling when you've got your opponent hurt and pushing forward for that finish.
It was really good there. The pressure was nice, the body work was nice, the head damage was nice. It was really good here. But that's enough about that. And now it's time to move on to the main card of Primetime 33. Starting off here with it looks like a lightweight bout with
yes, sir.
Scythe.
That's right, Scythe or Haroon, as he's also known. This man goes by a number of different names. He is up against the very, very recent addition to the Kingsman, as Doc alluded to at the beginning of the card, KM Motown or M-Town. This guy, he seems to have all of the skills to pay the bills, and he's going to need to be able to be on his A game this evening, Doc. I mean, we've seen time and time again, Haroon or Scythe, as he's also known. This man is a dangerous threat overall and is not opposed to putting you in the clinch, putting you on the mat, or really wherever he needs to go.
Indeed, like both of them have been fantastic in showcasing their grappling and striking ability, so I'm betting this is going to be an interesting fight. We see Motown going for a Pettis pick, which, knowing he's part of KM, makes even more sense now, to be fair, since the KM boys all seem to love that type of pick. It's a bit of an odd one, but everybody knows it and everybody loves it.
Well, you say it's an odd one. I mean, Anthony Pettis has all of the skills. He's a very underrated pick by many. He has the jiu-jitsu there, Ginger, the rubber guard, like we've said a number of times. It's so useful on the ground, and obviously the creative kicking and boxing to go with it. Anthony Pettis, obviously a beautiful pickup, lightweight, featherweight, no matter where it goes, but it is a tough one up against the Dustin Poirier. Dustin hits so motherfucking hard.
And like I said, right, I'm going to correct you on Doc, right, because Anthony Pettis is my man, I'm not going to let you insult him like that. He is not no pick, he is great, he is absolutely amazing, right?
Until he gets kicked in the head.
You be quiet, okay? So, what I want to see Einstein do here, obviously he has the spinning body kick, the jumping spinning body kick. I want to see him do that early round, so set up with jab, plant on it. Maybe not use it so much later because you're going to lose stamina, but I want to see a bit of body work here. If he gets taken down, I want him to get on that full guard and take him the side control from the.
Again, Poirier is just. This is interesting, unexpected indeed. We just get to enjoy. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, we seem to be in the midst of a staring contest. We have Poirier in the red, who's staring down his opponent. Pettis has decided he wants to move a bit just to try to get some entertainment and maybe make Poirier blink. Flick of a jab.
He's just jabbing him, like.
It seems like 33 is an unlucky number for prime time. But, wham, we're back a flying knee backwards about to begin with. And a minute 30 left on the clock, and both of them start back onto their feet. Interesting progression, but they're both coming out ripping up the town.
To be honest, I'm quite struggling here because my stream is actually lagging quite a lot. So I'm just trying to refresh this and then I can start actually doing stuff. But obviously,
Lovely job here by both opponents, trading the shots, digging up to the top, and doing a fantastic job there. Both of them trading shots cleanly. Front kick narrowly avoids it. Pettis has been on the back foot. Poirier's non-stop moving forward. He's just looking for some type of kill here, and so far it's been an aim of the game with a minute 50 left on the second. He wants to make up for just standing there for about a minute or so, and this so far has been Poirier's fight, it seems. That being said, we end up with a rubber guard to Pettis. A minute left on the clock.
Oh.
Lovely deny there. That is a dangerous deny, but he gets rolled back into the side control. Pettis now on top. He's got some good submissions he can put off. He has got a gilly from this part. Does get the back sitting though from backside, and you probably could look for some ground pound GA, but instead goes for a back sitting take.
Like I said, this is exactly what you want to do for Pettis if it does go to the ground. Because obviously, Poirier is very good all round, but if I was a Pettis, I'd be more comfortable on the ground knowing I don't have to worry about the power and that stuff, etc. Another back transition here. Obviously, you can't go for an RNC because it's banned, so I don't know what he's trying to gain. Maybe a top mount.
Yeah,
Maybe.
not a lot of time, just a couple of seconds, quite probably there, Ginger, right, to close out the round, dominant position. They say both of these guys, though, with their jiu-jitsu ability, he's got a little bit more of the thug jitsu out of Dustin Poirier. He's got really, really heavy hands no matter where the fight goes. I imagine he's going to want to keep this a little bit more striking, use that boxing to his advantage, Doc, press forward, try to take those kicks away from Anthony Pettis, but it's a lot easier said than done when your opponent's obviously training with the Kingsmen themselves. They use a lot of Anthony Pettis picks, as you see, got beautiful head movement in and out. He's doing a really, really good job of just avoiding a lot of that damage so far.
He really did a great job, and we're seeing a lot of hooks connecting here from Harun or whatever you want to call him, but he has landed a lot of hooks, and again,
Yeah,
maybe M-Time's touching up a little bit too much on the jab, and maybe not focusing on his defense as much as he should be.
Yeah, Harun is definitely putting on his pressure. He's not allowing Pettis to get these kicks off. Pettis, on the other hand, is having a bit of difficulty. He's landing some nice combos there. Weird set of events there, and so far that jab straight has been the mainstay of Pettis over here. Harun is walking onto them, and even as he comes forward, and that's the issue. He probably wants to look for a counter. Even the slips and the hooks are Poirier are definitely getting some very difficult time for Pettis.
Yeah, I mean, you see it every time Poirier lands. I mean, the effects on Anthony Pettis is massive. The head health, massively degrades. Anthony Pettis can land 2 or 3 shots to every one of Dustin Poirier's one, and they add up massively. The damage does. But the one thing that's concerning a little bit for M-Town is he's throwing kicks on the inside, Ginger, and we've seen it time and time again. When you start to throw it inside a boxing range, especially with a heavy hitter like Dustin Poirier, he can turn your lights out very, very quickly.
I can't even contain how much I've done that myself before TMF picked me up. I would just sit there and I would just throw kicks when the guy's literally like almost like touching noses, and I would always get knocked out because of it. So maybe just a little bit more range management here from M-Town before he throws the kicks, and he'll be golden. But the head.
Indeed, lovely job there from the takedown. A minute 40 left on the talking. It's still a good amount of time to work. The head health for Pettis is slightly lower, and Poirier does have slightly less cardio due to the pressure he's been putting on. For a full guard here by Pettis, we have seen him get rubber and get a deny, so it's definitely something to look out for.
Yeah, so, I mean, he decides to separate. I was going to say M-Town was doing a good job of mitigating some of the damage, so probably not a bad shout to separate right there. It doesn't waste too much cardio, throwing a lot of shots and having them blocked and, slipped. So back to the feet and trying to work on the inside, landing big damage on the head again of M-Town, and he needs to be very, very careful of that. Anthony Pettis cannot take too much more damage on that chin. Otherwise, he may end up on the mat face down. It's a dangerous game to play on the inside up against Dustin Poirier.
I love a Pettis pick, but he's being not sloppy, but he's being very risky with throwing so many kicks in boxing range. Unless it's an axe kick, don't throw it, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna pay the consequences. So he really needs to mix it up, and I want him to come back in this last round. I want him to go all out while being defensive and look for a little bit of counter boxing, but I think he can definitely pull this back. Here we see it. Oh, we don't see a touch of gloves. Maybe
Indeed, lovely job here though by Poirier putting on his pressure. The cardio did look into the favour of Pettis, and it still does, but Poirier still got enough cardio to be of note just to make Hell lamp. Motown stayed fairly patient throughout this fight, just looking bigger clean shots, and so far it hasn't really gone that way. Pettis has had more difficulty. He does get back mount though, and does get reversed into the half guard. He probably wants to look for the top man, instead goes to the half guard, probably looking for a transition from side control, but sadly doesn't get it. If I'm Pettis here, I'm probably looking for a sub Ginger, you've got to admit.
what a lot of people don't actually know that Pettis actually got a necktie added to him and a silent buff. So maybe if he can get a sprawl, maybe he can go for a necktie or a guillotine. They're two very powerful subs that you can definitely use to your advantage. So if he's going to do a sub, I'm going to go there. So we're seeing a lot more kicks from better range. It's probably going to be a commentary. Oh! Could be
Yeah,
it.
that's some heavy ground and pound. Lovely job on the knockdown, but so far Haroon is
We need to get this work done very, very quickly, though. 2 minutes 40 on the clock, and this is only scheduled for a 3-round fight, not 5.
Oh, I've just noticed that as well. That is a massive issue. If they don't get past this will probably end up just being switched over, and they'll have to finish it whichever way they want to. But just the way it goes. 2 minutes left on the clock so far. Haroon is on the back foot. Gets a lovely deny there, though. Pettis now on top. The cardio of Pettis is definitely going in his favour.
Hopefully we don't see the fourth round here, but if we do, it's definitely not on Pettis' behalf because he is really being relentless on here.
I mean, if they go over to the fourth round, they will see it. We won't see it. That'll be the case. Lovely deny there, though, with the minute 15 left on the clock, and so far Pettis gets another deny. He needs a finisher some type. He now rolls him over into side control. Probably looks for the sub, maybe, but you just need some heavy ground and pound here. Probably goes to knee on belly. Gets reversal, though, and goes to the backside now.
Well, this was a very good comeback here from M-Town because they went to the head down.
That's exactly what you wanted.
Well, he didn't want the no contest coming in. He wanted that finish, and he got it, my man. I mean, that's a way to push forward. Did it on the mat as well, which is even more impressive considering the Anthony Pettis pick. Don't often see him end up in those top positions and working the hands that well, guys.
Yeah, indeed. Lovely job there by Motown. Again, having a bit of a sketchy first 2 rounds. He kept up the cardio, took it down in the third, and got the finish. Doing a lovely job getting the backside ground and pound.
I'm really happy with that as a Pettis man. You know, that was an amazing comeback from Poirier. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm really biased when it comes to Pettis, but
No, easily done. I can't say the same. You know, like obviously when somebody picks Cub Swanson, although you've got to be as impartial as you can be in the comms booth, it's hard when somebody picks you one of your favorite fighters, right, Ginger? I mean, you just want to see them do well and fully display the skills that are on there. But with that being said, guys, we move on to PlayStation Storm v Purple Urkel. Unfortunately, my voice is not holding up, so I'm going to leave you in the very capable hands of Doctor Who and obviously TMF Ginger. Been a pleasure calling these last couple of fights with you guys, and hopefully I'll be back in the booth with you in the very near future.
Yeah, well, certainly with that being said, as Looney said, it's me and Ginger in the comms group again. We go on to our second main card fight of Storm versus Purple Urkel, and I think in the middleweight division, so it should be a fun one indeed.
Adesanya. In my opinion, right, I could be completely wrong here, but Adesanya, I don't like him personally. I don't like his just general build as a character in the game. I'm a big fan of him in real life, but in game, not a big fan. But yeah, if we're seeing an Adesanya pick, you know, you want to work the kicks, you definitely don't want to take it down before Whittaker. No way you want to take it down, but maybe that's not the case. Maybe he's going somewhere else. Vitor Belfort. Wow. All right, never mind. I'm excited. I'm really excited for this one now. Okay.
It's a very interesting kettle of fish here. We got Victor Belfort versus Whitaker. Now, this is going to be a punch up for the ages. You're not going to have anything else apart from those two trying to knock each other's heads off. I would
Yeah,
hope.
but the thing is about Vitor Belfort that he's no offense to Vitor Belfort, man, right? Don't stand on me, but
Careful what you say, otherwise you have great mist at your door.
Yep.
Great mist,
He's a
one of the most
one-line
notorious.
fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get it done on 1 or 2, or it's good for league fights that are 3 rounds, but when it goes to the 3rd round, that means it's very risky.
Well, Whitaker starts off rough, getting the stun,
Oh my-
narrowly avoids the head kick, and Storm is already gassed, digs the body by Belfort, and we are already in a fight and a half. Again, both of them playing the aggressive styles, and knockdown on the hand of Whitaker, getting the payback, and so far this is just relentless pressure by Whitaker.
And this makes Purple Orca way less confident to come in and exchange. You're going to see him throw 2 pieces now, maybe a 3 piece at a push, maybe a little. Yeah, but he won't throw anything above that because he is terrified now that he'll get knocked down. And that is perfect offense from Storm, and that could be it already. That could be it already.
That's going to be nearly it. Narrowly avoids getting the reversal back into this. Now goes for an armbar. Whitaker is slightly down. Belfort doesn't have the best sub defense, but that's what happens when you chose someone who's got hands for days. The escape does seem to be imminent, though. It's done a decent tracking coming to the very end, but so far he has ditched it. Now it's where we end up into the bottom full guard with Whitaker on top, and so far Whitaker has had the most dominant control so far, Junior.
And you know what? This is perfect stand up here from Storm. Oh, we're seeing it again. Oh my god.
And taking a sip of water, and they already nearly gets to finish. Narrowly avoids it. Purple Orca doing a fantastic job here, narrowly surviving. And
How do you think Shiku's online? That's what I don't get. How do you think Shiku's online? Because this guy is just going ham, and he's getting rewarded every single time for the exact right reasons. The head kick didn't connect there when it should have, but it happens. It happens. And we're seeing it. And you know what? Purple Orca isn't backing down here. He wants this finish.
Yeah, he really wants to finish. Lovely finish there. Comes up top again. Storm is putting on this pressure. He's non-stop, and every time he's put on this pressure, it's so far succeeded. The uppercut, lead hook, narrowly avoids landing, gets another landing there, and here we are again. Storm is on the back foot, slightly gassed, and it ducks into a lead knee, and again a straight comes off. This is very much back and forth, but Storm is winning in terms of the general shots.
It's permanent damage here, really. When you can't really go down in that with a Whitaker, because he is just so powerful, and I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it for anyone, but Whitaker especially. Oh! Purple Urkel with the thing, and Whitaker right back at him, and this game is, oh my god, so many killers on this card. I can't comprehend. My IQ is too low to just process fights like this so fast. But yeah, show again 2 killers, but Storm's stamina is going down really fast. So. And that's the end of the 1st round. I'm gonna give this.
Whitaker. He had such a heavy start and continued it. Yes, coming to the end of the round, Whitaker did start to lose that flow, but that's what happens when someone takes so many brunt force shots to you trying to finish them.
Yeah. And this is just such a... I'm still so confused over the 1st round. One guy was winning and the other guy was, trying to punch the 2 front teeth out of the other guy. Oof. But yeah, back into the 2nd round here. Permanent head damage isn't as far as the gap as I thought it was. Purple Orca is leading the stamina game by a lot. And a lovely, is that a lead hook? A lead hook there from Purple Orca. We're seeing better, nice body work here, Purple Orca. That could be contributing to the reason he doesn't have as much stamina in Storm's behalf.
Well, yeah, the bodywork by Belfort has done a major job in getting this stam a bit low, but the issue with that, he did get countered very early on in round 1, as we saw with the knockdown. Lovely deny there. touches around to backside and goes for a get up here. Whitaker probably wanting to look for some type of big shot just to make sure to skew around, even if he has landed others. Gets the reversal into back sit and could go for an armbar if Whitaker has it, which I'm not particularly sure, Ginger.
He doesn't. He doesn't. I was just like to go Todman here because obviously I feel like that's more of a comfortable position with. Sorry about that.
Heavy ground and pound there, lovely job here. Gets up, and so far Purple Urkel is looking for like a big shot. He just needs something to make him question. That being said though, the cardio of Whitaker's definitely suffering. Although he's faced adversity, we've seen this a few times, especially last fight even with the Pettis fight. You saw Pettis having the low card, had the higher cardio, he just managed to outgas his opponent and then come in with the finish afterwards. That may be the case of what we're seeing. The low cardio ends up giving you a higher vulnerability window, and so you can just land those bigger shots. When they're gassed, you end up getting the KO.
Yeah. We'll say, you know, that could be the case here because in my opinion, Thor's winning both rights here. Oh my, that was really nice there. But...
narrowly avoids it, spinning body kick, gets the stun to the body, and digs up top, spinning heel kick, a head takedown, gets him safe out the way. Back and forth fight so far. The Stam is definitely in the favour of Belfort. Storm is winning, but you're never particularly sure anymore since just the way we've seen the judges score so far tonight.
Man, look, the stamina is low, but my guy is just punching him, man. He doesn't care about his stamina. And look at that, my guy's stamina is, you know, it's completely gone. I said at the start with a Vitor pick, but it seems to be the complete opposite here. It shows you, also commentators don't know as much as fighters. And just praising.
And finishes him.
First.
Commentators, there's always the case. Even if
oh, it's me too. It's no one else. It's just me.
It's just
no one else. Well, that was another really good fight. You know, that first round is still going crazy in my mind, but enough about that. You know, do we have an update on the next fight, Doc? Or
I believe Swish has somehow missed weight, and in which case Dover can no longer fight, if I'm not mistaken, which is a bit sad since Dover's always a good fight. He stays up for so long. He's an Aussie fighter and we do love seeing him. But with that being said, we're going to go on to our next fight with Yeetikus versus CIAW Webby. What?
I'm excited.
I
you know,
tried to say his name, but I ended up...
Webcam.
Yeah, we are. That's the name indeed. They're in the welterweight division and this should be a fun fight indeed.
Dude, sure, you know, these guys are both killers, you know. The ping's looking a little bit, you know, shaky from what I'm seeing, but, you know, a stable 170 is better than a 30 to 80.
Just being corrected, it is at bantamweight. Apologies, it seems to be the case. I don't think anybody seems to know their weight class, to be fair. Just double checking on the card, and yes, it is. It is indeed a bantamweight.
Disgraceful behavior. Absolutely disgraceful.
The fun and games of live commentary sometimes.
We're looking at a 5-1 record in the favor of webcam, but like we said before, that could be sparred, league fights, or ranked, so no one really knows who has the real advantage in this one. Going back now, we're seeing a Peter Yan versus Jose Aldo. Sorry. I'm going to trigger some stands for that, but obviously Yan the meta pick, and Aldo, my god. I would like to see body work. I always say body work because it's just so important in the game. I want to see some body work from Aldo. Also, Peter Yan's legs health stats are very low from what I remember. So in the kick of the leg, you know, Aldo, you've got really good leg kicks. Use your tapes. Use your kickboxing combos, your Muay Thai combos to the maximum advantage you can, and just try to wear them out with it.
Yeah, well, again, Webcam's done a fantastic job here. Like, Aldo's is very much a lot even a pick when you're fighting someone like Jan. So it ends up with quite good. That being said, though, Jan already starting to put on this pressure. This is exactly what you want as a Jan player. You don't want to be kickboxing with Aldo. You want to be just digging him to the body.
100% talking. You know, I love fights like this, right? Because I love Aldous and I love Jan's. Obviously, I don't love fighting against Jan because he's so meta and it's just so good. But I love watching the fights because it's so entertaining, especially fights like this. So he's doing what he should be doing here. Webcam is using his tapes. He's trying to keep him out of range, which you could count him perfectly, by the way. But he's doing what he needs to do, and it really is spectacular here. And oh, that was a really nice duck there. That could have been dangerous spinning elbow, but and a nice takedown there from Eutychus. Eutychus known before as a grappler. See if we can still got it. Nice denial there for webcam. Maybe trying to get the body damage up here. Trying to. Oh, nice denial there from webcam. Again, this guy seems to have some really nice ground defense. Aldo's also got the 5-star stand up and the 4-star grappling, and 4.5-star health stats, if I do remember correctly. So really, he's using the golden ticket here. Oh, and that was a really nice stun by Eutychus. Even better defense by webcam though. Superman punch, not something you see often. And if I was Eutychus, I would like to just wear down the block. Maybe not the head damage so much, because with the block comes the head health eventually. So let's see. Nice. He's doing good with the body work. That was a really nice by him. Oh, this could be it. And just hanging on by the. Seeing a lot nice spinning elbow here, and oh, another takedown from Eutychus. He does not want to stand up, especially with an Aldo. It's a pretty smart move, in my opinion. He wants to build up GA, and again, another nice takedown from webcam, and a nicer get up. If I should guess, I don't really know what I'd like to do here. I would just like to keep it down, possibly. Maybe get a little bit of ground and pound. Nice takedown again. Grappler turned semi-grappler and striker, and he's showing it here with a lovely takedown offense. First round, I honestly don't know who to give that to. Like, both got stuns, if I remember correctly, and stuff like that. Little touch here, show of respect between the two. Eutychus goes in with a slip hook, which could be effective if he went for a jab, but obviously not put up to the. Another takedown here from Eutychus. You know, this takedown offense really is the good. And a crucifix into the side saddle. Two very dangerous positions, even with a Jan. If anyone, in fact, maybe just get the block down, get some head damage, and hopefully, at least that's what Eutychus hopes he can do. Back mount, another dangerous position.
And that
Reverse
leave
into
you
half
on your
guard.
own there, Ginger. Sorry to jump in there, brother. Can
Yeah.
that leave you on your own? This is a crazy fight. These guys are always, incredibly dangerous all-round opponents. Eutychus, especially on the ground, Ginge, he does fantastic work here. His submissions are second to none. Although Aldo does have, obviously, that BJJ black belt, so, with that, it's going to be very, 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 very hard to get that man submitted, no matter what position you find him in.
You know, and we're seeing some really nice denials here from webcam, like I said earlier. And well, I just commentator's curse, you know. And now he's just being kept in that crucifix, and that's not something you want to do. You can't block your stuff. You know, it's really dangerous. And we're just seeing constant, just really dangerous positions here from Eutychus, and he's just absolutely killing it in the ground game, showing that he still got it in the ground when he turned into a striker mainly, but he's showing he still got it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And obviously, this is all in the favor of Eutychus. This man, like I said, whether it be the ground and pound, whether it be the submissions, has a very, very well versed skill. And we see how low the block is and the head health of Webcam. He's doing just about enough to mitigate that damage and survive, though, which is, exactly what he needs to do at these stages. If he does manage to work it back to the feet, obviously has a huge stamina advantage there, Ginger. And we know how, top quality this man's defense is. His ability to sidestep, his ability to do all of that sort of stuff is absolutely phenomenal. I do just want to take a moment, though, to give a big shout out to the ESFL Gaming Network. These guys, absolute savages. Appreciate you coming through with a massive raid. I know you had a fantastic event earlier on this evening with obviously Balian, I believe it was Bruce Lee Rob, and obviously the mighty Robin Black doing the commentary. I hope you guys, had a fantastic show. I know it is always a lineup of killers. Appreciate the shout out, ESFL, the GOATs, as always there, Ginge, coming through with that massive raid, brother.
Hell, they're really running the community at the moment. I competed on their card earlier today on the first fight, and I have to say it was a fun fight. Always hosting great cards with great commentary, and obviously great title fights for the biggest people in the community. And it's really nice to see that they're raiding other leagues and other affiliate leagues. But again, another good round from Eutychus.
Yeah,
nice,
hell yeah, man. Eutychus doing a great thing. And just to kind of touch upon that, of course, PrimeTime MMA is one of the partners of ESFL Gaming. We act as very much, with an everybody welcome format, whether it be PlayStation, whether it be Xbox. It's an opportunity for lesser known people that, maybe haven't built up their reputation within the community yet to get themselves known within it on these cards, get themselves winding up in those rankings. And as we saw with their card a little bit earlier on this evening, a lot of the guys on that card had originally started with PrimeTime, and they've done just that. They managed to work themselves up the rankings, just like yourself, Ginger. Within PrimeTime, you worked yourself up, you got into that title contention. They took notice of that, and you had the opportunity to fight on some of their cards, and I'm sure that you, like many of the others, are going to be able to do so going forward as well, my man.
It's honestly, just being in this community in general is really fun, and I'm loving it at the moment, to be honest. And, PrimeTime and ESFL are just pioneering the competitive scene with other affiliate leagues. So,
I appreciate that greatly. Once again, though, Eutychus being an ESFL competitor, PrimeTime competitor for a very, very long time, putting it all together this evening using Yan. A little bit differently. He's going with that grappling heavy approach, but the takedown defense on for CIA Webcam, that guy from the Lethal Weapons, his ability on the feet is second to none. He's mixing it up to the body very, very nicely. Does get taken down with a big slam from Eutychus. 3 minutes left on the clock. We're going to have to see if he's able to hold him down, but once again, works it up very, very quickly, Jins. You got to love to see it. This man is staying committed to it, even going for a takedown of his own, which may end up biting him in the ass a little bit.
Really nice body work here from Webcam.
Oh my god, brother.
Oh my god. Is that it? And that's
he gets it done. I mean, well, if I'm not, this is not pre-recorded, my man. Saturday events are always live. Just to answer Shogun very, very briefly. But no, that was an incredible knockout from CIA Webcam. This man has the ability to, defensively grapple just like he did up against Eutychus, who was one of the better grapplers on the scene, period. Able to turn that around, get the big knockout late in that third round. At least, obviously, I joined in that fight a little bit late, Ginger. But if I'm not mistaken, Eutychus was heavily ahead in that one, right? Up until that big knockdown at the end, or knockout at the end.
He was really on top there, but the big problem there was his stamina was getting really low, and he's being pretty careless with his stamina. But, yeah, that was really nice recovery there from Webcam. Pretty good body offense, and it was really nice to see a nice comeback there in the third round.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely fantastic. That's a massive feather in his cap as well. Going to be interesting to see where he goes from there. But this does now take us into the co-main event of the evening. Going to be having Cryptic Optics up against CIA. I can't see what he's actually got his name down on here. It's obviously a little bit different between the Discord side of things and their actual accounts, but Cryptic Optics up against CIA. Josh Ray, I believe it would be then. Yeah, that would be Josh Ray on the other side. A little bit of a change off from the previous brackets that we had saw, the graphics that we had saw is that unfortunately Styles is not too well at the moment, so we wish him a speedy recovery, and he has had to pull out of the main event of this evening. So the winner of this co-main event, being a PlayStation bout, is actually going to take a step forward up against Karts in the main event for the interim belt. So this is there's a lot of stakes being added to this fight, Ginger. It's not just the co-main event. It's not just an opportunity to work themselves up that one step closer in the rankings. They now have an opportunity to get themselves on the primetime gold. Should they get through this fight, they've got a tough test across from them, both guys, but should they get this victory, they're going to find themselves in the main event fighting back-to-back for the interim belt in primetime.
If you told me that before I go into like a co-main fight, I would be shaking. I would be so nervous. So really, this is really all about composure here from Josh Ray and Crypto Goblins there. So,
you often see that, Ginger, right? Just on that point very briefly, you do often see that composure is the name of the game, especially at the higher levels, making sure that you're able to rise to the occasion. It's one thing to do it in ranked, it's one thing to do it in sparring, but when you've got the bright lights on top of you, whether it be in Primetime, ESFL, or many of the other affiliate leagues, the stakes are so much higher that that those pressure, those nerves, they can really, really get to you. I know it's something that we've spoken about a bunch quite recently, right? It's having that composure, being able to adjust to those high-level moments, really, really is what separates good players from the great.
Like just the ability to just not panic. And that was my biggest problem coming in the community, and it still happens today. The best players in the world just crumble under pressure, and it's really just a matter of if you can just stay calm and just analyze the situation and realize what they're throwing, stuff like that.
Yeah, we're seeing some good work right now with Cryptic Optics, obviously trying to look for some of those pull counters. It looks like CIA, Josh Ray, looking to work the body. I didn't actually know he was part of CIA before I just seen his game tag right there. And I mean, that's interesting to note. Those guys seem to have some absolute killers on the PlayStation side. Obviously, the PlayStation side of Primetime MMA a little bit newer, currently in their first season, so there's still lots of guys making their name, lots of camps out there trying to get themselves on the, kind of recognized by the promotion. And CIA, or KIA, I should say, with the likes of Humbledink in their corner, are definitely one of those camps, as we've seen some beautiful head work out of Josh Ray pulling that counter. Out of Cryptic Optics, although we don't actually get to see their stamina. It can be a little bit hard to, call it fully and see what type of impact that some of these strikes have been having. But in this mirror match, with some of the better work being done by Josh Ray so far, you've got to imagine that he's slightly ahead in all facets there.
Yeah, well, both of them have done excellent jobs here, both controlling the fight, both of them not really stepping off on the back foot, and so it's just allowed them to really piece each other apart, both of them bleeding from each side. And again, another combo fires back towards Cryptic Optics. No, lovely knockdown there though by Josh Ray, keeping on this pressure. He's definitely having the better of exchanges and picking apart his opponent, Ginge.
It's really just showing you the killers in action. They are really killers in action. They have really nice counter blocks, and they're really, from what I've seen, they have really nice grappling too. But obviously, every single player has a different style, no matter if
they definitely do very, very well-rounded opponents as he goes for this absolutely beautiful attack here. The Twister is on for this man. We've seen it a little bit earlier on. We have managed to get our first Twister in Primetime history a couple of months back. I believe it was with the co-owner of Primetime MMA in Kryptonite King. Not enough time to get it sunk in, but Great mirror match so far. Both guys obviously very, very well versed no matter where the fight goes there, Doc, and trying to land what they can when they can, and it's really about capitalizing on those opportunities.
Yeah, indeed. Like, that's exactly what Josh Ray's doing. Every time he throws a combo, he's capitalizing on the shots he can do, and so he's just sneaking in shot after shot and just getting the knockdowns cleanly.
Yeah, it's really even right here. I would give it to Josh Ray because of the hell of events, but it's a really good mirror match, as you said before. And I would just like to.
That's a big moment from him. Beautiful pull off from Cryptic Optics, but Josh Ray was very cognizant of the panic wrestling that came his way, able to stuff it, although not out of the woods yet. An excellent little back take from Cryptic Optics, using those little knees to the leg, which are all going to add up. The separation is on for this man. And one of the things about mirror matches, obviously not everybody likes them, but it really, really is a display of who is the better fighter. You know, obviously, oh my God, Josh Ray caught him massively. Excellent defense, but that was a close one, my man.
Yeah, that was really nice. Josh Ray just not dominating, but he is controlling the fight, and he really is showing it with his good striking, and I'm pretty sure he has some really good wrestling techniques too. So I think he's got this fight in the bag for right now, but he can definitely pull it back.
One of the interesting things, Ginger, we mentioned it earlier on with the Dustin Poirier pick, right? I mean, this guy, whether he be on top, he has that thug jitsu, the ability to land those heavy ground and pound shots. But of course, on the bottom, especially in this guard position, the rubber guard is just absolutely massive. It's such a useful tool to have in your bag of tricks, and if you have, you know, the ability to really sink that in and solidify that position, you can bring your opponent into very, very troubling waters.
Yeah, because from upper guard you got either top mount, side control, Google Pilata, and there's a joint sub in there as well. That are all four are pretty dangerous.
Yeah,
so if you get that,
if
you get the transition
into the side control, so far Josh Ray staying fairly content here, happy just to hold it. Optics more looking to go for the grant. GA
wrong way.
advantage.
I think that's the wrong way around, brother. We're currently seeing KIA on top. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's a mirror match. Both guys, Dustin Poirier, easily done. But now you have Josh Ray now on top, and he's doing some good work. And as you mentioned, I mean, these guys being the Dustin Poirier pick, there really isn't a position on the game that they don't have submissions available to them. Obviously, he finds himself in this top mount, not able to secure it for too long, but half guard is still a great position, as is side control to get off some massive damage or submissions, depending on which way, you know, he decides to go. We have Lee McGrath in the chat, one of the KIA boys, also saying don't sleep on Josh's subs. Apparently he's got those in the back pocket should he want to go there. And with denials like that, Doc, I mean, they're really going to be able to cinch them up, although not enough time in this round to do it. We still have a potential 5 minutes to go in this third round. And, of course, as we alluded to at the beginning of this match, there is... Oh,
that's a lovely head knee off the clinch. Gets the get up, though, with 8 seconds left on the ground. Another knockdown in the favour of Josh Ray here. Optics putting on the pressure, and that's a clean round end to round 2.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Ray really rising to the occasion this evening, it would seem. I mean, as we mentioned, as I was going to say a moment ago, these guys are not only fighting to move themselves up the rankings right now, they're really going to bypass all of that due to obviously the champion being a little bit sick at the moment. Like we said, we wish him a speedy recovery, but these guys are fighting for the opportunity for that interim gold and the opportunity to fight Styles on the next show out. But Josh Ray doing great jobs and just rocking his opponent time after time in this third round. He may even get the finish here, piling on the pressure.
Indeed, lovely job here though by Josh Ray, getting the knockdown now into this grounded position. Gets a reversal into the sprawl against the cage, sticking to that body now, and he looks to get out, and he does successfully. You've got to be wary to Cryptids, obviously, to any like 1-2 shot combo will end up with possibly finishing you.
Yes, sir, and we have Carts in the chat saying Josh Ray will try to hold me in side control. Dearly noted, but you need to be worried about those hands as well. This man is landing absolute bombs.
Is that it?
How isn't he finished? That was so close.
Even better defense. Even better defense.
Yeah, he managed to guess out. Josh Ray does go for the Kimura now. And this could be the change of tides instantly.
Yeah, I mean, look, the stamina is absolutely non-existent for Josh Ray right now. 3 minutes on the clock. The Kimura is a decent submission to get in. It seems to be relatively even, although a slight advantage on the escape. Although when you get past that 25% mark, the submission offense does really start to stack up very, very heavily if you can continue to track them, you know, with relative success. And the escape looks like it might be imminent, though. A little bit unfortunate for him, but that was a big, big moment.
Yeah, indeed, it really was a very unfortunate moment. Does attempt to get up. Yeah, that's probably your best goal. You nearly got subbed, and you were so far winning. Let's keep it going, and let's make sure you can get the finish instead. And narrowly sidestepped a jab, looks for the counter.
Those little subtle sidesteps, they can be absolutely massive, but with the head health being this low, he definitely needs something a little bit more at the major lunge into a big rip. pushing forward, trying to get the finish, just not enough gas in the tank to do so. Once again, has to be very defensively cognizant now. The head health is incredibly compromised, and Josh Ray has been landing some great shots. So with a minute 20 on the clock, Cryptic going to have to mind his P's and Q's. You can see how low that head health is, Ginger. And, both guys now really fighting in the phone booth. And he sits him, slept him. Oh!
A clean lead hook, putting down the likes of Josh Ray. That is some aggressive stuff. Lovely job there in the favour of Josh Ray. Had a dominant performance from beginning to end. Cryptic tried to get some stuff flying, but sadly didn't. And with that being said, this is now Josh Ray versus Karts in the main event of this evening. 5 rounds.
Doc, that man right there rose to the occasion this evening. They were both biting at the bit when they found out that they're going to be fighting for the interim title within Primetime MMA. Now, obviously, we're going to see Josh Ray moving on from that co-main up to the main event to fight off up against Karts. The slight adjustment to the graphic. We do apologize, brother. Everybody knows who this man is. Of course, if you've been around the scene for a long time, Karts is an incredibly dangerous opponent. Been fighting in basically every league that there is from, across the entire community. And right now, working his way up those primetime rankings to get himself in a very, very nice position to fight for the interim gold. Obviously, he has the advantage going into this one, Ginger, of seeing how his opponent has just performed. And as we saw in the chat, he was making some notes as the fight was going, and that's exactly what you're going to need to do up against a dangerous opponent like Josh Ray. That man seems to have the tools no matter where the fight goes.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a really, really good performance there from Josh Ray. Hopefully he can replicate it now into the fight with Karts. Obviously, Karts coming in here fresh now. But Josh Ray's been probably getting a few spars in all day, and it's just had his new fight. And he's going to be playing like that exactly again. And it makes you question here, can I do it again? But the big difference here is it goes from lightweight to light heavyweight. And we all know, right? When you go from lightweight to light heavyweight, it feels like Lightning McQueen compared to a snail. So it's kind of going to be hard to counterbox or to kind of make a read because it's just so powerful and stuff like that. But
yeah, there's very small error for margin for error in the light heavyweight weight class, more so than a lot of the other weight classes. Obviously, as you get heavier, the shots that are landed have much bigger effects. And of course, like you say, he was fighting in lightweight there, so this is a big jump up in weight. There are two different subtle changes to this, though. Of course, Josh Ray is going to be warmed up going into this fight. He's just had a very tough opponent across from him, Cryptic Optics, and was able to rise to the occasion in that one. Now, obviously, stepping up into the light heavyweight, he's going to have to replicate that. He's going to be warmed up. Karts maybe has been training in the gym a little bit leading up to this fight. Hopefully he's been staying fresh, because it looks like he's going to need to be up against Josh Ray. This man coming out of the KIA side, just put on an absolutely phenomenal performance, and he's looking really good. So obviously very hard to pick between these two incredibly well-rounded opponents. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, although I have never sparred them myself, being an Xbox player, I believe Karts is a little bit more of a an all-rounded striker to wrestler. Obviously we've seen Josh Ray has the submissions and so on in his favor, but that man had some heavy hands as well. So we'll have to see how these guys shake up. Maybe a Yan up against Daniel Cormier pick there, Doc, which is a fun matchup between these two guys in this weight class. You often see it when you come up to these heavier weight classes. Seem to be two of the more favored fighters from light heavyweight.
Yeah, indeed. Both of them are fairly competent on the feet. It's an interesting choice, to say the least. We're going to quickly flip back over to the full card whilst I work out what's going on.
They were just taking a couple of moments to cut weight. I mean, the tiramisu was on the table, and obviously they were just taking those extra couple of moments, maybe just to compose himself as well,
Turns
right,
out
Ginger?
The screen froze and we're straight into the fight. Only 20 seconds in, so...
I think maybe jumped the gun on these guys. Then they said they're raring to go. They took the moment to compose himself, maybe straight into the first round, and trying to land at this, of course, for the interim title. We'll have to see what they're able to get going. These guys are heavy hitters, trying to work the body, which is always a great choice there, Ginger. Obviously, Daniel Cormier has a vulnerable body, although going to be hard to do so when you get put on your mat like that, or put on the mat like that.
Yeah, but I'm actually going to go sort of a stand-up with Jan in a way. And what a lot of people don't know about Jan Kovic is He's actually got a death kick. He has got a he's got a death kick. I used it in my fight today. He's got it, and it is powerful, man. If you hit one of that, that's a stun. That's an easy stun. So
yeah, indeed. But on the side note, though, Cormier's got a very weak body, so if you're Blazkowicz here, you are going to be wanting to look for the body shot. Bit of stream issues here, which seems to be a slight issue, especially with the main event, but that's just the way it goes. It also seems to be a 3-round fight, I've just noticed.
Yeah, I mean, they've made... Look, these guys stepped up on a short moment. We will give them the blessing of it. We will let this one off, of course, but nevertheless, I don't imagine in the light heavyweight weight class that they're going to go the full 5 rounds. Hopefully that stream comes back very, very quickly. We'll have to see what happens with it. Do apologize for these technical issues. Unfortunately, it's not something that's fully within our control, of course. The host stream is, having some issues. Looks like we're switching back to it, and they're on the back in this one, trying to work it. Interesting to see Jan on top, trying to get that, switch over, trying to land some bigger ground and pound. And obviously, both guys have absolute crazy power in their hands. Nothing more than the Polish power, of course, as well, of Jan Blazkowicz. If he's able to get that posture up in any position and get a sequence of shots together, it can cause massive damage. But once again, the Olympian getting the reversal and trying to hold out these positions back and forth over the opening course of these first 3 minutes.
Yeah, indeed. Very much back and forth. Nobody seems to be the clear winner, probably from our perspective at least. And lovely knee there does get blocked. And again, Cormier just seems to have the cleaner hands when it comes to it. Looking for those combos, gets again collecting with a straight front kick in retaliation of Blazkowicz, but Blazkowicz walking back, just trying to figure out any type of range. One of the main things when you use Cormier and Blazkowicz feels a bit stiff. Cormier's a bit fluider, but you can dig to the body of DC and get away with it, Ginge.
Yeah, you just need, like you said, like all of you just said, you need to work on your body if you want a better chance of beating a Cormier. Just work on the body. By that, you get the legs, you get the body, and the head will come with it soon. So.
Looks like their stream is having a little bit of an epileptic fit for a moment, so we will switch back to the full card. Obviously, don't want anybody to die out there. I don't know, was Josh Ray streaming the original fight doc? Because it may be an idea to switch over to his if this continues.
Streaming, and Cuts started streaming this one, and it seems like Cuts' stream has gone offline.
Well, to have a little double check of Josh Ray's very briefly, brother. We don't want to lose any of the opportunity of this final fight. Obviously, a little bit of a shit show. This is not the normal of primetime MMA, so just bear with us, all right? These things unfortunately happens. Okay, Josh Ray has just notified us that he has, in fact, lagged out. So what we're going to have to do with this one, guys, we are going to run the intermission screen that we have obviously prepared. Going to jump off the comedy very, very briefly, just while these guys re-lobby up. We're going to get Josh Ray to stream it again. There will not be an issue with that man's stream. He has that 4K ultra internet speed that allowed that crispy smooth connection of the co-main event, and I think we should have just stuck with that. I don't know why we switched it up, but these things happen, especially on a live event, so we appreciate you all sticking with us over the course of this one. We will be right back with you, and hopefully as well, these guys going to be a 5-round fight also. And did Humble win? He did, Griffgraph. He did, my man. He put on a fantastic performance earlier on in the card, so you will be able to watch that back on YouTube if you so wish to, or of course on Twitch after this, but head over to the YouTube if you haven't already. Got all of our cards going back, I think, up until Primetime 7. We had lost the original ones, but everything outside of that. We're going to run the intermission, guys. We will be right back with you. We appreciate all of your support, appreciate you sticking with us, and we'll get this 5-round main event between these two gentlemen undergoing very, very shortly.
time.
What is going on, my peoples? We have had some technical issues. I don't know what happened. I think Karts maybe slipped on a banana peel on his way back to the cage. Unfortunately, he is unable to. He sprained his ankle, dislocated his knee, and so on. So this man is unfortunately not going to be able to continue his fight for this evening. But that does not mean that the primetime action does not continue. We're going to be having LW Reaper stepping up for himself, for the lethal weapons, and this man is a dangerous threat. So he's an excellent alternative to have. The rumors are that the man is a couple of pounds overweight right now. He's currently shedding those pounds running on the track. Hopefully he doesn't blow his load or his cardio heading into this next one, but rest assured that we are having a main event. I'm not going to lie to you. I've run this for about 4 years. This may be the biggest fuck up that we've ever had after the biggest raid, but it's okay, peoples. We are still putting on the action. We are still going to be putting on the show, so we appreciate each and every single one of you sticking with us through it. Very, very shortly, we're going to be having, obviously, like I said, these two guys matching up against each other. Just going to let them know very, very briefly. Obviously, I'm going to be speaking to them very, very briefly. But going back through the cards, Doc, and obviously Ginger, you were here for the entirety of it. We've had some really, really fun fights throughout the course of this night. What ones have stuck out to yourselves in particular?
You know, I love the Dale Denton fight, as I always do, Broomstick and Dale, and then it was Storm and Purple Urkel. Them two were just going ham from the first round. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, both of them are. Yeah, the Purple Urkel fight, that was the Whitaker versus Belfort, if I'm not mistaken. That was a back and forth fight. The Whitaker did a fantastic job. Then moving on to that Dale fight, that was Broomstick did a masterclass, to be fair. Dale still was competitive. He tried his blind knees, but just couldn't land anything major.
Yeah, and also in the co-main, we thought we'd seen Josh Ray Josh Ray just absolutely dominated his opponent there for 2 rounds, and it was pretty good performance, and the KIA boys were gonna bring that one back and hopefully bring that interim championship with it.
So yeah, I mean, like, Josh Ray obviously had a standout performance in the co-main event, earning himself that interim title shot that we are hopefully going to be seeing in a couple of moments. Just to kind of cast it back to a little bit earlier on in the night, I mean, one of the biggest standouts for me were 2 fights in particular, which was, of course, the Chase Me fam up against Easy mix-up fights. Those guys are always savages in the cage, and they put together a back-and-forth battle throughout the entire course of that fight, of course, getting that very, very late finish on the Xbox side of things in that one. But in particular, the big standout performance to me, and I don't know if you guys would agree, but that was the Yeetikas and LW CIA webcam performance. CIA webcam, after having so much adversity with the grappling, Yeetikas maybe, utilizing that a little bit too much and blowing the cardio load of his pick, able to get that big finish at the end was webcam, and it was a picture-perfect finish as well. It was an absolutely beautiful shot.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, you know what, it was just out of nowhere, wasn't it? We were all expecting Yeetikas to win, and then bam, just hit him with that stun. It was just amazing pressure there to break down his block and get the knockdown.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I will say about the man in particular, right, is that we've seen it time and time again. His ability to, on the feet in particular, his ability to do the side steps, he uses the defensive movements absolutely beautifully to get out of the way of his opponents and counter them, in untold ways. But the one thing that was really impressive in that performance, because when he's done it in the past, he's kind of almost been one-way traffic. His opponents have found it very difficult to hit him, and as a result, he's just been able to light them up with some of those shots beautifully. The reason that this was so impressive, is due to the fact that he was having such adversity leading up to that point, Ginger. And we've discussed it in the past. When you're having so much adversity, to stay composed and to overcome that, weather that early storm of your opponent, finding the finish in the late part of the 3rd round really does, accentuate your abilities as a player and shows that you're ready for those step-ups in competition. Because obviously it's not always going to go your way, so the ability to overcome those things really, really does show, that you are now becoming that next level of fighter.
Yeah, I'm sure it's count by taking that one as a really big win for them. We call Broomstick and Dale Denton the comeback kings, but webcam maybe the run off for that one, because that was just out of nowhere, and I'm still shocked at it now. It was just blink, and then it was all over. And, oh, good, lovely stuff there from webcam. And obviously going back to the early prelims there with AJ's Rara disputing picking up the win against my campmate TMF Wolf.
Well, that fight, we mentioned the Rara fight. It's very much Rara did have some very much adversity, shot a lot of takedowns, but finally got it, and then actually got the sub finally. Wolf was piecing him on the feet, but Rara did a very good job at changing it and then looking for that sub, which he hung down. It took him a bit of time, but did get it.
Yeah, I think even if my campmate took him a little slap on the wrist and say he was wasting way too much stamina on the ground, and
it's easily done though, right? Especially on the ground. It's not always down to what you're doing. Sometimes, by all means, if you're wailing away with shots and it's being defended, then of course, as Doc does, maybe throw one or two and then posture down, really, really capitalize on the position. It's, as annoying as it can be to be on the reverse end of it, it's an intelligent move to do. You want position over submission, you want position over ground and pound, and obviously it allows you to utilize the stamina more effectively over the course of the full 15 or 25 minutes. However, a lot of it does come down to what your opponent's doing and their ability to defend those transitions. If they're able to, then they can really, really shut down the entire game on top and really kind of neutralize that game, get the separations, whether it be by the referee or otherwise. But that's enough gassing for now. LW Reaper answers the fucking call and steps up against Josh Ray, KIA Josh Ray. These guys fighting for primetime gold. They're about to throw down in the light heavyweight weight class. It's the fight we've all been, kind of waiting for. A couple of changes. We've been waiting these last couple of minutes, and now we're going to get to see it. Hopefully this fight isn't over in an absolute blink of an eye, because that would be a little bit anticlimactic, but with such heavy hitters, you never know, so keep your eyes peeled. Watch these two guys try to get their work done. Obviously, lots and lots of back and forth, and it looks like Josh Ray trying to take the center of the cage, trying to, really take away that Polish power of Jan if he's able to, trying to get him on that back foot. And as we've said in the past, Ginge, it can be very hard to be backtracking, especially when you're using somebody like, Jan Blachowicz.
And that was a lovely trip up there by Josh Ray, and it looks like he wants to keep us on the ground, actually. He might, which is a pretty good idea to do against the Blachowicz. Because obviously Cormier's wrestling dominance is dominant over him, and it's what you want to do. And that was a lovely deny there by Reaper, and a good deny there by Josh Ray. But you want to keep it on the ground because obviously Blachowicz has the better stand-up stats. So, but that's what I would do. I would keep him on top line, get the punch power down, get his permanent head damage down, and just maybe not a very good idea to go for that transition, but
I was going to say he's a little bit more respectful of Josh Ray's abilities on the mat. We saw it in the last time. This man is no slouch. He has the ability to deny, really, really from any position. I will say, though, we are yet to see him fully utilize his submission game. And we've seen guys in the chat calling out for that this guy has sneaky submissions. And with these big denials already, this could be a recipe for disaster for LW Reaper. I mean, Daniel Cormier, the Olympian, is an absolute savage on the ground, and we're seeing him getting off some beautiful denials and starting to work the ground and pound, even start to fish for that Kimura when he can. Once again into the crucifix, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah, he does get another deny.
And a better deny. What? This is lovely ground game here by Josh Ray. We said if it's a first round finish, it's going to be anticlimactic, but it'll be well deserved if that's the case, because this man has earned his way to the spot. So
yes, sir, and he has been ready and game. He made weight on time. He has turned up with the top quality stream, which we appreciate massively. Always nice to see it in this 4K quality, or near enough as you can get with UFC 4, of course. But no, he's doing beautiful work so far. Really, really, really trying to work his game on the ground. And that takes away the power, like you said earlier on, Ginger, of Jan. He's not able to land those big shots, that death kick that you spoke about, that we saw a little bit earlier on. And so far, so good for Josh Ray. This is an excellent start to the fight for him.
Yeah, he's playing it slow. Does get the denial there with the top mount in 20 seconds left to go, and this can be the end of it all. You don't need that many shots in this position. Digging to the landing those clean shots. The hooks does get posted. Another 10 seconds left, and he does manage to get out of the top mount set. 5 seconds, and this is.
That was a nice set of ground pound there by Josh Ray. You know, that was a really dominant round by him, and that was lovely. There was lovely takedowns, lovely denials, lovely offense, lovely ground and pound. He's coming here and he's looking to bring that title home to the KIA camp.
Look, I have to say, the KIA boys are not included in this. They have always been game, on time, ready, but we don't have these issues on Xbox, okay? When you turn up, this is a 3-round fight, my man. What the actual fuck? How? Like, how is this 3 rounds? We've just discussed it, but it's okay. It doesn't look like it's going to go that way. Josh Ray says he's going to get the finish quickly and is trying to get that done. Beautiful work straight into the lead hook, trying to sit his opponent down. Dangerous pull elbow though, Doc. That was close, my man. Especially with that Polish power.
Yeah, that Polish power is dangerous. Cormier has got some good hands of his own. Again, we got Josh Ray putting on this pressure. 2 stuns to his name already within in less than a minute on the clock. So far, Kane doing an uppercut, and so far this is just Josh Ray looking for shot after shot. The leg kicks has got to be a bit wary of, since Jan does have some good kicks, but if you're going to stay up close, you're just going to allow that vulnerability window to be the case. Gets a takedown, lands cleanly, and we're now into half guard from bottom, Ginger.
Yeah, you know, the permanent head damage off Reaper now is just a really good result here off the dominant first round shown by Josh Ray and the lovely side control and crucifix. And a lovely deny there from top. Might maybe even look for a submission.
Yeah. No. At this stage, right, anything can happen, of course, but Josh Ray does seem to be the guy that is pushing forward for the victory. And candidly, he's the deserving guy. He, like I said, he was here on time. He's put in together fantastic performances. We got a Showtime raid as well. Showtime MMA, UFC. We appreciate that raid, my guys. I believe that's Heavy Hands and the like over on that side. So shout out to those gentlemen. Just going to do it in the chat very, very briefly. You caught us at the right time, back and forth. We've had crazy fights over the course of the night. A little bit of fuckery to go along with it, but nevertheless, we have made it in our main event, and we're seeing Josh Ray put together a absolutely beautiful performance so far. His grappling is on point, getting some work done on the hands as well, Doc. This man seems to be the real deal when it comes to the UFC 4 gameplay on the PlayStation side.
Yeah, he really does. He's managed to hold position so well. He's grappling well. But that being said, though, you saw another arm trap there by Reaper getting out of Crucifix, and so far he does go for it. Weird little fake, does get a deny on it though, and gets a deny on the half guard. Josh Ray so far is being controlled. He's working down his head health of Blazkowicz very well, keeping his stam up relatively high, as we've seen countless times, as you mentioned in chat. Apparently he has dangerous subs who have yet to properly see them, but that's because of Reaper's making sure to keep his stam up high when he's in those risky positions.
Yeah, I will say Reaper's done a great job of the arm traps in particular, and a couple of, very, very useful denies when he's had the opportunity as well. And that's what's been able to keep him in the fight so far, because Josh Ray has absolutely clamped down on these spots to get the crucifix time after time and to really get those beautiful denials off are absolutely huge. Massive ground and pound from the Olympian. That's great work from Daniel Cormier, and now he gets the denial off in mount. That could have been terrible news, but Reaper staying composed and getting off denials of his own, able to mitigate some of the damage coming his way, Ginger, but there you go, took his back. I mean, only 1 second to go, so maybe just let it go, right? But honestly, Josh Ray is absolutely looking fantastic this evening. I'm very, very impressed by this man. We are in the third, and shouldn't be the final round, but the final round, and they touched them up. We're going to see what they're able to get going. So far, it's basically been one-way traffic from Josh Ray coming from the co-main event into the main event, and he's basically won every single round so far, although that was a big front kick from Reaper.
Indeed, Reaper's looking to get some counter shots.
Fight. Even though it's a 3-round fight, he would have won 3 rounds already. I mean, he basically won the fight. So if he wins this round now, he would have won either way if you think about it.
Yes, sir. I mean, we're going to run with the result either way. At this point, there's been too much fuckery to say otherwise, and it looks like he's trying to take him out and take the judges out of it anyway. He said, I don't need 5 rounds. I only need 3 rounds, and he's making good on that right now with some beautiful work, pulling on some of the shots. The feints are there, the takedowns have been there, and, you know, all round he's looking absolutely phenomenal. The best strike out of Reaper so far has been those double elbows, but they're few and far between and not able to get the damage off that he would want to.
Indeed, that block and chin health of Blazkowicz is very low. Just the boxing, the kickboxing, the grappling have all been in massive favours. Gets the counter with a stun pull elbow. That is some crazy stuff we see within these 3 minutes left of this round, and an elbow fired back in retaliation. Both of them are just looking for elbow chaos.
He seems a little pissed about those pull elbows. I mean, we've seen Reaper go for them about 4 or 5 times throughout the course of the fight, Ginger, and I think that Josh Ray said, okay, you can pull elbow, I can pull elbow too. Manages to get one off, not quite the damage he needed, but obviously that takedown was there for him, and able to work on the mat again, and this side control is absolutely savage from this man. He's held this position over the course of the co-main and the main numerous times, almost with shades of the champion himself in styles. You know that this is one of his more dangerous positions, and especially in UFC 4, it's very impressive, as it's not exactly as powerful as it was once in UFC 3, right?
No, indeed. The position is actually quite difficult to hold, so if you can do it, it's very impressive. Although, with that being said, it doesn't do as much damage, but as we saw, if you can hold it, evidently Josh Ray can definitely kill your head health with it, and that's exactly what he's done over the course of these 6 rounds or so we've seen him compete.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's all stacking up for him as well. It seems that as time is going on, he's going from stride to stride, really picking up momentum. Another excellent denial. I mean, the 2 positions that LW Reaper has really come alive in has been that crucifix, his defense, and able to get those arm traps in that position. And in mount in particular, he's been able to stop basically all of the postures, but Daniel, mother in Cormier, in the hands of Josh Ray, interim title holder. This man will be seeing the ever dangerous TD Styles to unify the belt, but this man gets the job done this evening, and in a pretty emphatic way to basically win every single second of every single round there, Ginge. You've got to be impressed with what this man's been able to do on the PlayStation side of things.
Wow, you know, it wasn't like he was mainly relying on the grind. He had some nice striking there too, and you know what, that is just amazing by him. He really deserved that, you know, from winning the co-main against a really tough opponent to winning the main event and becoming the interim champion. It's really well deserved. You know, the side control there proves to be the make or break, and he's really well in there. Nice fakes, elite fakes actually, and some really nice crucifixes, and some really nice top mount too. So yeah, credit to him, man, and he deserves it 100%.
That they definitely do. With all of that being said, my guys, that does bring us to the end of our card this evening. It's been a fun one. There's been back and forth. There's been some madness in and out of the cage, but we managed to make it there. That is Primetime 33 in the bag. I am now going to go and lay in a dark room and allow my voice to recover. Hopefully it'll be back at some point over this next couple of weeks. We appreciate each and every single one of you turning up. Obviously, in the chat, in the fights, putting on these fantastic cards. Big shout out to all the guys in the back, specifically, obviously, Ginger, Doc, you guys really pulled through. I wasn't able to commentate the entire event. My, obviously I've got these things going on right now, but you guys really did pull the heavy load this evening. Obviously, a massive shout out to the raiders of this evening. ESFL Gaming coming through with a massive raid, of course, and of course Showtime, a newer promotion on the scene as well. Make sure to follow those guys. I mean, I'm assuming that you do. If you know of us, you know of ESFL, but make sure that you follow them, and of course Showtime if you haven't already. We are now going to be pushing forward some love to a partnered promotion of ours, which is going to be Asso Fury Land. They are a French promotion currently going up against Cage Rage in a league versus league style event. So make sure to stick about, join the raid, and yeah, enjoy the fights. I mean, we've got these ones going, of course, later on this evening. Got the UFC themselves as well. So there's many more fun fights to come, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Enjoy the night, and until the next one, peace out. Appreciate each and every one of you.